And if you think you was the first athlete to ball and get a big bag, you tripping. All them dudes went and got a big bag. Some of them dudes that got it and went broke. They got some of the biggest bags of their time. It ain't the bag you got to worry about. I tell people all the time when I speak to them, my audience, that's why they love me. I tell them it's about staying power. It ain't about getting rich. It's about staying rich. I don't give a where you go in the world. Go to Abu Dhabi, go to Dubai for a day and have to, soon you get there, get off the plane and get on another plane and come back. It was a waste of time. It's about staying power. How long can we stay on vacation? How long? Because for you to stay speaks to your ability to experience what's happening. You can't experience what's happening when you got to go and come right back. So we got to figure out how to stay in position. Some of the athletes, some of the rappers, some of the people that's on top, they forget that the world does turn. Those that was first will be last. Those that were last will be first. We got to figure out how to speak. Again, I just said it. We got to figure out for what was to speak to what is so we can figure out what's going to be. You get too arrogant and you think you can do it by yourself, but you don't know. The work for a community, the work for two men is not meant to be done by one person. I don't give a how great he is. This is community got to do this here. Yeah, this here we come from. I'm talking about when we think about the collective. If we all went selfish, we can be all right. But we can't go selfish. We can't go selfish when they give us 200 million, 100 million. We can't go selfish when we get in position. You can tell a lot about a man when he get rich. 2 times you can tell a lot about a man when he hungry and when he rich.
Culture. They say there is a show birthed every minute. But very few can carry the torch for this generation. We have never witnessed someone who can speak to the people and for the people. The conversation you're about to hear is of the highest level of game. Any inability to connect to the frequency speaks to the whereabouts of your understanding. To approach the game in this way is to dive in deep water, and we know good swimmers do drown. But this is for the motivated. No cosign needed. Dealing with information. I'm Morgan. Your host is Big Loon, and this is It's Up There Podcast.
Yo, welcome to It's Up There Podcast. You know who you're dealing with, Big Loon. It's Up There Podcast. Hit like, subscribe, share. Want to send a shout out to Revolt TV. You know the vibrations is high on this side. Ain't no time for playing. Ain't no time for all that, what these other guys do, the press release reading or the TikTok playing. Like we on some, like we giving game out respectfully too. Just need the consumer to understand the difference between the quality. I need the consumer to understand that this shirt here is Italian cut. It'd be a different thing with them $600 Gucci's. You know what I'm saying? You spend $600 on a Gucci shirt, it feel a little different than that $8 when you bought from Walmart. So on this side, not only do you get the texture, but you also get the right treatment. So we try to put you in a position of where you dealing with luxury. This is the experience. It's Up There Podcast. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I'm in a weird place, man. I'm grateful, but it's heavy. I'm grateful, but it's heavy. You see that? That's a hell of a place to be in, right? Because I understand everything that's on the line, but I understand everything that need to be done. Some people say I should be celebrating, but I say I should be preparing, right? It's almost like being in the playoffs and you won game 1. Ain't nothing to celebrate about. We got to do this 3 more times. Then we got to do it 2 more times, doing it 4 more times, right? So we got to win 4 more games, 2 or 3 more times for this game to even mean something. So now I'm grabbing all of my, like Thor, I'm grabbing my infinity stones, but shit, if I get weighed up there and the boss beat me, all this shit don't mean nothing. I ain't just here to do this. I ain't just here to play with this, man. Like, not only do I want to be valuable to the culture, right? I also want to be valuable to the people that know and always believe that this is something that I can do. So I may take it a little serious because I'm a competitor at heart. That's just the kind of individual I am, man. That's what keeps me going. I've been having money a long time. And when you have money a long time, you got to find a different motivation. Now, I ain't had industry money a long time, but I had street money a long time. So I've been in a position to have to find different motivations. Ask my town, I don't go to the club. It's a reason why ain't nobody disputing what I'm saying. They can't. You can't dispute what I'm saying in regards to nothing I'm saying as far as me and my background and my upcoming, my upbringing. Ain't nobody can't dispute it. Right? If they talking stupid about Loon, they don't know. That's all it is. Somebody inform them. If they get loud enough, somebody gonna say, bro, they might get you, but you might want to leave that alone. Now, he one of them. He plugged in with you respect them, but they respect him. We don't even know how they alliance here. It's some other shit going on. But respectfully, that's just on the side of me being a personal guy. But in the business, I'm also I'm hyper focused. I'm hyper alert though. It's almost like when you're driving, man, all your senses is high. Or you hear a noise in your house. That feeling right there when it's late night and boom, something fall in the house, and that feeling you get like, what was that? You still at home. You still know where you at. You might got your firearm close to you, but just that feeling of what was that? That's where I'm at right now. I'm like, all right, you understand what's going on, right? I got enough game to operate. It's fine. I know that. Listen, I ain't never gonna question, can I operate through life? I'm one of them. I'm a street dude, home. That's second on the list. I'm just saying capitalizing on every moment because right now, all that count. You see, I was watching Diddy, and shout out to the boss, man, Diddy. I was watching, and we'll get to his speech and all that later in the show. But just as a quick reference, I was watching him get his award on BET, and it was interesting. He said something. He said, yo, whatever the commercials is, hit me with the bill. I got it. See, he had a time then where he can do that. But if you prematurely do that, that can set you in a financial situation where you have to take from Peter to pay Paul. But the genius in a Diddy and a Kanye and a Jay and all of those dudes, they made the moves when the moves needed to be made. And that's the position I'm in. I'm playing chess. They playing checkers. See, they don't respect the future. They respect the present. So they feel as though because they in the lead that they won. I keep telling you, leading the race ain't winning the race. A lot of you being carried to the destination. I'm crawling and climbing to the destination. Therefore, I get the information. And ain't nothing better than information. The money is a byproduct of the information. Trust and believe that within the sound of my voice. Money is a byproduct of the information. And I always start the part talking about podcasting and the game and business and just life and shit and just culture, man. I like to sometimes just give a little game out about my headspace in that time. Sometimes I'm happier than others. Other times I'm, sad or weary or I'm well informed. Like I come with different type outfits, you understand, in regards to my thinking. And so right now I'm just thinking about being grateful, man. Understanding that the road is long, but it's well worth it. Everything you did in the street, you got to ask yourself, man, you put it all on the line for them little pennies that they were paying. This right here, man, if I do this right, I can go Nick Cannon. See, because right now they think I'm dumb. So they think I'm pigeonholing myself into this type of thing. They don't even know I'm well read and well informed. My first goal, or not even a goal, but one of the things I'm trying to get done right now is to sit down with Candace Owens. Number one, I like Candace Owens in regards to her intellect, right? And her ability to articulate her ideas. I think that she may be one of the top prospects in that space in regards to black conservatives, right? I also have enough information to dance with Candace Owens, and I want to show the audience what it's like for me to pull out. Y'all will see it with Umar and other things, but that was earlier in the career. I'm talking about right now. I want my audience to see what it's like for me to pull out and go sit with Candace Owens, right? We seen academics do it. I want y'all to see the difference, respectfully. I know people ahead of me probably think like, All right, Loon trying to move fast. We don't think he ready yet. Now I respect that. You know, they would know better than me, right? So I don't get offended with some people who don't see my talent the way I see it, right? They ain't in the gym with me. So they don't know I don't even take notes when I'm talking. They don't know I really come and just talk, right? So just imagine if I know in 90 days I got to get on stage. Bro, do you know what I'm going to come up with and how I'm going to come in and break this down? Like, yo. So I understand it because they haven't seen me flex their muscle yet, right? They probably think this is a well-produced thing I'm doing over here when this is really freestyling. You understand? But I respect the game for what it is, so I don't get upset. I want to speak to people out there, though, man, because, again, I feel like you're in a dog tunnel no matter how successful you feel like or other people feel like you're getting, because you still understand that real success and happiness is attached to autonomy. So you need the ability to be able to do what you want to do on a daily basis for, in my opinion, for you to be happy, as well as have something to live for, look forward to, and love, right? I think that's a part of being happy. And so for me, as I'm searching for happiness, unfortunately for me, where I come from, see, because when you look at the people who do the tree huggers and the people who understand frequency and nature and things like that, they're able to find their happiness. They have a cheat code. I want to tell people out there, man, that you got to fall in love with the process. You got to respect the process. Some people want to subtract and go around and cheat the process, and you only get in what you put in. There's an old saying that says, before you can enjoy the flower, you must water the thorn. But the importance in that is process, because you understand that watering this thorn is going to give me that beautiful flower that I've been looking for. So what if I plant 1,000 of these in my yard and flower and water them the whole time? Now I have a bouquet of flowers. But again, the process is so important in that, because if you fail to water those, now you're dealing with a thorn. The thorn don't look like the flower, but the thorn is the flower. Hold on, take that in. The thorn don't look like the flower, but the thorn is the flower. So again, you gotta fall in love with the process, because what it look like ain't what it end up as. Sometimes you're going through a tunnel, the head on the other side of the tunnel is the destination. And it get dark for that time you in the tunnel, but soon as you get out, it's more light than you had before you went to the tunnel. So you just got to keep things in perspective, and then don't kill your dreams when you keep waiting. And I'm waiting. It ain't right yet. I'm gonna get it right. You killing your dreams, wasting your time. You burying your dreams. Loon don't bury his dreams. I believe in what I'm doing, so that's why you see me every week, first, second, third day of the week, dropping content, dropping videos, dropping this. I believe in what I'm doing. I can't be affected by nobody because I put a fence around my peace. I put barriers around my peace. I put expectations around my access to me. Yeah, everybody don't get access to the penthouse. Yeah, you might get to the building, but you don't get the penthouse. I got to give you access to the penthouse. And when I let you get involved with my life from a standpoint when I'm thinking about you and what you feel I want to feel, or I want to help with, or I want to engage in, that's a dangerous place for me to place people at, because I get very little reward and the risk is high. And as a man, I have to do risk assessment. If I'm not doing that, I fall victim to tricks, and I'm not interested in being tricked. I'm not one of them kind of men. But you don't never kill your dreams. You stand by your dreams. That's if you believe them, and you water those seeds. And that's what I keep doing every week, watering the seed. Say, bro, I get thousands, literally, of comments on every platform. I'm the truth. You getting it, you doing it, and I respect and love it. But I need information. I know better. The fame don't mean nothing on this side, homie. Yeah, I cash the fame in automatically. It don't mean nothing on this side. We looking for information, homes, and that's that on that. And it may blend in and look like we ain't. I just know the eyeballs. They pay with their eyeballs. So I know fucking with the eyeballs, I get the information. I was thinking, like, Everybody don't have the same motivations. Everybody don't have the same frequencies. Everybody don't have the same things that push their buttons. Everybody not hustlers. Some people are stagnant. They like where they at in life. They want security. They want structure. Me, I'm a renegade. E.T. talk about putting that dog. You got to have that dog in you. E.T. always talk about you got to have that dog in you. And Loon got that dog in him. That's why I get up before you. I studied all you. I pray to God you wasn't faking, because everything niggas did, they act like they were lifting 400 pounds. I trained and really went and lifted 400. It's easy now. They bet not been lying. As I get closer, it feel like I'm dealing with liars. But E.T. always talk about you got to have that dog in you. I know it's a race to 50 million by this podcast. I'm in the race. I don't give a fuck what it look like. They say, boy, you started late. Boy, you ain't gonna never catch up. That's what they screaming, and I'm in, and they within my motherfucking eyesight. They want me to, but what? Y'all got to bury me, nigga. Gotta show me I can't get no money. I done found purpose with this. I ain't got nothing else to do. I made good money in the street. I'm doing pretty well. So I got that dog in me. Here I come. Now the new question is what the world gonna do when I take that dog that was in me and put it on them? Now the dog that was in me, I done took the dog out of me and put the dog on them. Now the dog is attacking. What they gonna do now? They can't handle the dog that was in me now being on them. You gotta keep up. It's high level game. I don't stutter. I don't stumble. I'm dealing with information. This shit is mid to me. But I'm one of them hustling. And I know everybody don't feel what I'm saying because it ain't for them. It's just dreams and nightmares that I have about this shit. But right now I'm focused on the dreams. I know the dreams is letters from God. That's why everybody don't got them. God didn't write you what he wrote me. Yeah, dreams is letters from God. He didn't write to you what he wrote to me. That's why you didn't see me coming out the ghetto and spin moving, spin move. I had 4-5 cribs before they knew what my name was. You dig? God didn't tell you that you can go from nothing to 100 million. That's why when I said you cringe. That's why when I tell you you cringe, you don't know what it's like. You ain't get that letter. You ain't get that letter. You ain't get that memo. They ain't CC you on that one. You focused on your nightmares. We both have both of them, but I'm focused on my dreams right now. Lord knows the nightmares, I spend years focusing on them. But I know that my dreams is letters from God. So I stick close to them. Let's get into the show. I want to start the show off today talking about Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith. Again, student of the game, I watch everything. It's important for me to be informed on all media because this race is not only for us, I'm racing for us. Sometimes it come off like I'm racing against us because our skin color is the same and we've been trained a certain kind of way. I keep telling y'all they got us on the field where the handoff is in the playbook and they done convinced us to take it out the playbook. We done took the handoff out the playbook. We running all kind of shit out here except the handoff, and we don't understand why we got shortgevity. The running back lifespan ain't but 3 years depending on his old line. We'll talk about that later. Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless are in a situation where for some reason, and I find a lot of this interesting because, again, I view it different. Skip Bayless has now legitimized the argument that I've heard Stephen A. Smith make for quite some time now. So for those of you unaware, Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless have been going back and forth on podcasts about who started First Take, who was the reason First Take continued, why Skip Bayless had to leave First Take and go over with Shannon. It's just been a lot happening. Before we get into what's being said, though, I want to cite that I'm familiar with this conversation. And not only familiar with the conversation, but familiar with the outlets that it's been had on. And for some reason, I'm drawing a blank on why Skip only legitimized this when the New York Times or Washington Post wrote about it. Which they wrote about it because J.J. Redick spoke on it. I need y'all to understand the ecosystem of media. I think it's always something that's left unsaid and people think that, oh, they just pick the best stories and promote them. It's not how this works. There's a buddy system. There's a boys club. There's a pecking order on these kind of things. I've heard Stephen A. Smith go on several platforms and speak to, yo, I started First Take. I was the reason it was hot. Ain't nothing to debate about. I don't even know the conversation. I was the man. Moved on. Skip never said nothing. But because it's crept in the white media, I think that now it becomes something that he wants to respond to. And that's not making it racy. That's identifying the information. What I do find funny, though, is that in this game, we tend to work around black media until we don't have a choice. Some of those stories just get too big, and sometimes you'll get an athlete crying on somebody's couch that ESPN couldn't have got, so they can't do nothing but cover it. But other times, they try to work around that and then invite those same people on and ask them those questions in a different way to try to get somewhat of that same answer. It's nasty in this game. I want to just give y'all a little information on that. But Stephen A. Smith went on JJ Redick's podcast and spoke to what his idea of First Take was, how he came in and elevated the show and expanded the show, and the reason why the show became to be a franchise for ESPN. Let's listen to what Stephen A. said, and we'll come back with some game.
The origins of First Take, the origins of this embrace the debate notion, where did that come from? Where was that sort of driving force behind
as
that?
it pertains to First Take? Yes. What happened was Skip Bayless was doing First Take. And they were doing it based out of New York. It was called Cold Pizza. And they had just a regular conventional sports talk show, and they had incorporated debates for a segment here or there with Skip Bayless and Woody Page. Well, a couple years later, they moved it to Bristol, Connecticut, to the headquarters of ESPN, called it First Take, changed the name from Cold Pizza to First Take. And then one of these days, a guy by the name of Jamie Horowitz was an executive here, and he took over First Take for a short period of time. He did a focus group, and the focus group said, we don't want all that other stuff. We want debate. And so he took First Take from a conventional show and changed it into an all debate format featuring Skip Bayless. And that's when it really took off. Of course, Pardon the Interruption was already in play, Around the Horn and stuff like that. But as it pertained to First Take, that's where its real origin came from. Skip was doing it with a potpourri of individuals for a few years. I had been gone from ESPN over a contract dispute from May of 2009 to February of 2011. Skip Bayless was doing his thing with First Take, having the two live stews, Jamel Hill, Rob Parker, and various other people debating against him. And then in 2012, they weren't satisfied with the numbers. They weren't satisfied with the ratings, the level of revenue that was being generated. Skip Bayless comes to me in the parking lot. On the campus of ESPN in Bristol, Connecticut. And he says, I know you got your plans. You love the NBA. You love being out on the road. You love being in the locker room. But he said, but I need you. He said, I've done all that I could to take this as far as I could go. I need you to do this for me, please. He said, I just need 3 years. He said, I think we'll knock it out the park. I thought about it. Those were clearly my best options. They weren't about to give me my own show or anything like that at the time. I thought about it for a couple of days. I said, all right, I'll do it. 1 month later, we were number one.
Did your relationship with Skip ever fracture? Was there any contentiousness there?
Never. The only time anything came close to that was when I knew he was leaving before he told me. And I was like, what the hell's going on? And so I confronted him because for better or worse, I'm a straight up guy. If I work with you, and all of a sudden I'm leaving, you ain't gonna find out from somebody else. You gonna hear it from me. I'm gonna come looking for you to tell you. I'm gonna give you the news face to face. And I was hearing it, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then when he confessed to me what had transpired between his negotiations with the company, I understood why he couldn't tell me in the immediate moment. But that's literally the only thing that we've ever had any kind of issue about, and that lasted for like 6 hours.
I love Stephen A. on TV, and I understand how he communicates. I think he's one of the best communicators that we have out there in regards to just sheer putting words together and matching that with your theatrics. right? There's a very specific combination that's needed to resonate, especially for that many hours consistently about different topics, right? With the same approach. So says something to the formula that he has in place and the format that he's chosen to get his message out. So we give kudos to him. I do think, though, in this instance, or when at least when I hear him speak about First Take, the development of it, the inception of it, as great as he is, I do think he's downplaying the team that was him and Skip. Sometimes when we get successful, we become blind to the past. The present is so better than like, let's say you come from poverty or you come from nothing and now you rich. It feels so good being now you don't even think about who made you sandwiches when you ain't had nothing, or who got you in the door, or who helped you. That's why I'm always trying to stay cognizant and cautious about how I treat the people who are helping me or lending me even some sort of understanding. When I hear Stephen A. talk about First Take, it almost comes off as he forgets that they brought him on that show. Now, being brought on to somewhere doesn't mean that you're not the best talent on the show, but it does mean that someone had to see something in you to bring you into an already established role. That does not speak to you being under them. That speaks to the opportunity that they provided you. And I think there's something to be said about an opportunity being provided to people. And when I hear him say this, because again, he spoke about this several times on black media and they swept it under the rug. But when he speaks on it on white media, for some reason, it gets legs. I want to figure out the formula and why that's the case. I want to assume, but without information, when you assume, you make an ass out of yourself. We stay away from that. But I wonder at what point did he think that it was him and not them? See, sometimes it is him. Boy, I'm him, not them. Sometimes it's him, not them. But I wonder at what point did that switch for Stephen A. For them to bring him into an establishment or a situation, and at some point for it to go off in his head that, oh, I'm the reason this is popping. Us in particular, I think we got to be careful, man, even with me. You know, I try to be careful. Because when I'm helped, I don't even care if it's on purpose. I try to be careful and cautious, and I try to be considerate with the people that was close to me when I beat the odds. Because I don't know why you was there, but you was around when I beat the odds. See, when your first million is your hardest to get. I can never forget the people that helped you get that first million. At least that's me, coming from where I come from, understanding the odds that I had to beat. I always try to be cautious, careful, and considerate about the people that was close to me when I beat the odds. So I wonder because him getting on that show is part of the reason he beat the odds. He was already doing paper. I know he had a career, but he said out of his own mouth they wasn't about to give me a show. But I have so much respect for position because I know position is very important. I always say strategy is better than strength, which would lend me understanding to know that position is important. See, I know the maid got family too. Yeah, the motherfucker doing the laundry got family too. The motherfucker washing the cars, the pool guy, all these people got family too. So all these people feel something. Like we can't go to treating the doorman bad. He'll let a motherfucker in and steal everything. Like I'm just saying, understanding, man, everything is about position. But I watched these two guys not only because they were so dynamic together. It's a situation where you say, all right, these are two high-level communicators, right? Say what you will about Skip. I would say that he's behind Stephen A. in regards to sheer communicating, but he's a great communicator as well. He gets his points off. He does a pretty good job. And so when these two people go at it, I like, again, pay attention to the framing of things. Sometimes the frame costs more than the picture, right? Watch how they framing it. So again, I always like to watch it because I know it's high-level jujitsu mind games going on. What Stephen A. said in that, I don't really see as that being a problem, but I think the way it was written up in the New York Times, I believe it was, is that they may have took not only Stephen saying it on here, but from those other areas and just kind of summarize what he was saying, like he made the show this, that, and the third. So let's listen to what Skip said in response to it. We'll come back with some more game.
We'll accept as gospel that Stephen A. saved and made First Take. But trust me, that is utter untruth.
Let me say this. First of all, let's just address that These people that are coming from television and the podcast do a very produced version of podcasting. If you're looking at this video, you see Skip is reading. I'm not sure if he understands how this comes off, or maybe he doesn't have the time to, maybe someone else is putting together a synopsis or a timeline of events for him, or I don't know. But when they come into podcasting with this very produced version of a podcast, I need them to understand how it comes off. It's almost like they're bringing a football to a basketball court. Like they're bringing that set of skills that they got from television. Although it could be mashed together, you can kind of feel like you're doing podcasting. TV is kind of the same thing, but it's a different muscle. It's a very strict time frame on TV, right? So you got a 10-minute segment. We got to split this up between him and Shannon. So it'll be 4 minutes for what I got to say, 4 minutes for what you got to say, 2 minutes for her to kind of introduce the topic. So I got to get all out in 4 minutes. That's why you'll read. But I think the truth is the only cure to somebody that's capping. And so if you say capping and you dealing with the information and the truth, I don't say you can't read, but I think it just comes off a little stale when you go to reading something. It just, I don't know, it just gives me something. Let's pay attention to the framing. There's a couple of things he's saying, right? First of all, these are shots in media. Oh, he could talk, enormous ego, right? And a lot of that may be true. I don't second that it's not true. What I'm saying, though, is pay attention to the framing. He's basically saying that, yo, when we let you in, Stephen A., it put me at a disadvantage. I couldn't even barely get anything out because you would talk and get to your point of points. That means you're wasting time on television. You can't have right? I'm telling you what he's doing. He's framing this as like, yo, the show only worked, bro, because I took a back seat and let you do that bullshit you were doing. Waste a lot of time, finally get to your point, and I come in right with a point. I ain't had to do all that. But I was at a disadvantage because you got to do more and talk more. This is basically what he's saying. Now you guys be the judge, but I'm dealing with what he's saying and paying attention. You're gonna get off of that. I kind of don't appreciate the reading of it. It's just like, and so did he. And on that day, Stephen said to me to go over to the mothership in Bristol, Connecticut, to see if we can, come on, bro, let's do it. And that's what makes Stephen A so hard, is because he's the vibration, the flow of it up there. As he's getting down with Skip, it's pop, boom, boom, bam, bing, inflection, elevation of the voice, back down, point made, big word, small word, big word, big word, big word. Like, it is just like, right, and here you come reading. And so Skip went on to get into the business of it about how it was on ESPN2, and they were trying to get it moved to ESPN, but they didn't do it because if they moved it to ESPN, it'd kill another one of their shows. It's just funny to see how networks think. And for me, I paid close attention because, again, they're taking you inside the corporations behind the scenes of one of the biggest shows to our culture. So for me, I can't never miss nothing like that, the information that they're going to give out without knowing. You know, I got to pay attention to those things because ain't no help coming. I'm clear on that, right? Come from out the street, ain't no help coming. They scared of this. I am the culture. And they may have been lying about how many push-ups they was doing and how early they got up. And here I am, T1000 on my way, right? So it get weary. Those that embrace me are the truth. They ain't got nothing to hide because I'm coming with information and questions about things that if you've been lying, you're going to be uncomfortable. But let's get back to Skip. On the departure of Skip and heading over to Shannon, shout out to Shannon, a legend in broadcasting, for show, quick, fast, and in the hurry, got up there and got right. That show you what we do in media with a chance given to us. One of those things like what Shannon done. You just needed a chance. But set that to the side. Skip has been framed by Stephen A. and a lot of the culture as just a tennis partner, you know. So basically just somebody there, just kind of like Z. It don't matter the name, just you just happen to be there. And Stephen A carried the show. This is how he's been framed, almost like subpar talent. For me, I think you really can't gauge it, right? With Stephen A being the person that was right there in that show doing so good, you really can't gauge it when he spun off because Shannon come in with the dunk with his hand in the rim. Yeah, Shannon come in putting major game down over there. So he instantly elevated the show so fast to make it like, oh, Skip is right back on a popping show. But again, now it begs the question, is Shannon doing the heavy lifting? In my opinion, Shannon is killing it over there. Those segments, his analogies, just his way of doing it, he's killing it. I think that Skip is doing a good job, but it begs the question, Skip may be the B mic on every show that he goes on. If I'm being honest to my audience and just really thinking about it, is Skip the B mic when he's standing next to black people? In regards to sports media, is Skip the B mic when he's standing next to a black real professional broadcaster like a Skip, like a Shannon, one of those guys, the top tier guys, right? Because now let's be honest, Skip might run circles around some of our other black media brothers. I'm not sure, because we got a certain vibe and swag with us. I don't care who raised you. I know they like to say Skip was raised by black people. Man, a dog can be raised by lions. It's still a dog. Yeah, it can get food and behave like a lion if it want to, but when it be in a position a lion get put in, it's going to come up short every time. So I don't care who raised you. It's something that's in us, though. It's something that's in that black media, that new media. It's something that's in it. And so for me, when I look at that, I say, damn, is Skip the B mic no matter who we sit next to in regards to black people that know the game on that side. It get rough for them. I'm going to look at some more because I think here, again, I ain't talking about an athlete that's ain't really savvy in this space. I'm talking about some of them guys you're going to have to grab that's really putting the game down. That's really coming in there, talking points, spinning, you know how to make their point. Like those that understand media understand what I'm saying. And it's only for luxury ears. Because when you think about it, Skip had some weight on his shoulder, boy, when he left. When he got fired or whatever happened with First Take, boy, if he would have win and it would have lost, boy, he was lucky to find Shannon. See, some of these networks don't know they got a Shannon. Some of these companies don't know, boy, that's a Shannon right there. Or that's one of the greats right there on his way through. Y'all sleep. Oh, your thing ain't on the pulse no more. You done got too rich. So, you done forgot that what is need to speak to what was so we can figure out what it's gonna be. You done forgot that one tree ain't a forest. You done forgot we got to work together for this thing to keep going. You done got selfish. But I understand you ain't sent from God. This is sent from God. This is anointed. Nigga, it's that texture. I come from that. You think too much of yourself to be sent from God. A lot of you trying to outwit the ancestors. I'm trying to work with the ancestors. A lot of you trying to compare yourself to the ancestors and how you smarter than that. Man, y'all need to relax. I'm trying to work with the information from the ancestor, with the information from the people before me, ahead of me, and the ones that's beside me. I'm trying to work with all the information while niggas is thinking they better than everybody. But this here is ordained. All you got to do is check the records, check the files. Yeah, we kept the files, check them. Yo, it's something different about the outlook, man. The input, the ingredients, the infrastructure, the information, the indications. Right? At this point, I'm hustling. All they got to do is step back, boy. They dealing with a demonstration right now. I'm in my bag right now. And black media is thriving. We ain't in no bad place. We thriving. But we got a way better team than we showing off. Yeah, we playing personal ball. We got a hell of a team. But we got a hell of a team and we can get it all together, but the egos ain't allowing us to do so. Too many men think they better than other men. Too many men think that a big chair make them a king. And I just was speaking about last week. You see that there's a disconnect, right? In sports, in media, especially with black men, black media, we don't want to do no talking. We'll go talk to them white folks, though. But I find it so fucked up that we can't find a way to speak to each other. I see these white people hash this shit out on camera in media. That's why you'll see Skip say something to Westbrook and say, yeah, let's do it on an open forum. And then all these fake gangsters online saying, yo, man, these want to talk in public, man. What these This is a professional basketball player and an analyst. You motherfucking right, we want to talk on camera. We building brands around this motherfucker. Y'all the stupid that want to thug with 200 million in the bank. I keep telling y'all lost, man. But let me relax and kind of try to explain to you guys about what I'm saying. And so you see athletes, Kendrick Perkins, different athletes going back and forth. Man, listen, people are making a living off the game. This is avenue. See, a lot of people get arrogant in their current position. I keep telling people leading the race ain't winning the race, and you got to pay attention to your whereabouts. When you see someone after they luxurious basketball or football career pivot in the media and do a great job, you need to applaud that as an athlete, as though your future ain't secured in ball playing. You'll be a fool to ignore the transition that has to happen after your career has halted. Ain't nobody bigger than the program. A lot of us get so arrogant and caught up in their skill set when they on the court or when they on the field or they position on social media or they know the ride in the public eye. They get confused that they don't understand that, yo, bro, we in this shit together. The teeth only work together. That little shit you doing on the court ain't gonna translate to nothing off the field, right? So you gotta pay attention to what we gonna do when we do gotta transition. And if you think you was the first athlete to ball and get a big bag, you tripping. All them dudes went and got a big bag. Some of them dudes that got it and went broke. They got some of the biggest bags of their time. It ain't the bag you got to worry about. I tell people all the time when I speak to them, my audience, that's why they love me. I tell them it's about staying power. It ain't about getting rich. It's about staying rich. I don't give a where you go in the world. Go to Abu Dhabi, go to Dubai for a day and have to, soon you get there, get off the plane and get on another plane and come back. It was a waste of time. It's about staying power. How long can we stay on vacation? How long? Because for you to stay speaks to your ability to experience what's happening. You can't experience what's happening when you got to go and come right back. So we got to figure out how to stay in position. Some of the athletes, some of the rappers, some of the people that's on top, they forget that the world does turn. Those that was first will be last. Those that were last will be first. We got to figure out how to speak. Again, I just said it. We got to figure out for what was to speak to what is so we can figure out what's going to be. You get too arrogant and you think you can do it by yourself, but you don't know. The work for a community, the work for two men is not meant to be done by one person. I don't give a fuck how great he is. This is community got to do this here. Yeah, this here we come from. I'm talking about when we think about the collective. If we all went selfish, we can be all right. But we can't go selfish. We can't go selfish when they give a 200 million, 100 million. We can't go selfish when we get in position. You can tell a lot about a man when he get rich. 2 times you can tell a lot about a man when he hungry and when he rich. Boy, you will see a lot about a man when he in position, boy. Sometimes I think about, and these dudes is legends. Shout out to Flex and them dudes at Hot 97. Sometimes I think about they been doing it 40 years. How many youngsters done gave up on their dreams because that was the tunnel they tried to come through. And boy, old school was still in there getting his hair cut. Boy, another nigga can't get an edge up in that barbershop. Old school in the chair, he ain't moving. He talking and keep getting up. You ever been there? I hate them niggas in the barbershop. Man, that nigga get up and walk out with the thing on. Be way outside smoking a cigarette. Man, there's other folks trying to get a haircut in here. But when we don't think about the collective, boy, this easy money. Why would I leave? It's my 42nd year doing this shit. Right? Even if I don't leave, make them, create. I need somebody next to me. I'm evolving the show. Like, do something to put, create some avenues, son. But they say, Loon, you wasting your time. I was listening to Candace Owens speak like, Loon, you wasting your time. You're going to be disappointed. You be talking all that. We got to get together, uplift it. Nigga ain't going to help you. Then you going to get rich and you going to say, I ain't helping no nigga. Then no nigga help me. This is the cycle we caught in, right? And so I'm thinking, damn, Loon, are you looking for a black cat in a dark room? Are you putting yourself in a position where you can't do nothing but lose with this shit? I know they say, man, even if you know the way, ask one more time. I know they say that, but I say to myself, yo, bro, I know the format. I know the formula. I know the ingredients. I'm dealing with the specifics. I don't have to ride around and roll around with these. I can move around them. Take a little longer, but I can move right around them in real life. I'm telling you, I gave the last 5-10 years to this. Ask the I was hustling. I would ride around with playing in the car. Like, what is that? I pop up in the city with a podcast. I was early on it, but I was still in the street. So I stopped it. Fuck all that. But you tell a lot about a man when he get rich, right? I speak a lot about not coming to the hood as a distraction. Come to the hood as a resource. A lot of you doing photo ops in the hood, I have little to no respect for it. But I know the rich like to move where they can't smell the stench of the pole. Right? They don't even like to comment on your pictures or call your phone just in case you might ask them for some information. You might ask them how to get out that bad circumstance you was in. Don't even want to lead you to the water, helping you drink. But I want to address that, like, yo, keep the ghetto shit out of media. And when I say ghetto shit, like you want to fight the niggas that's analyzing. If they disrespectful, that's one thing. I'm on the side of respecting the game because I deal with information on this side. If I say, yo, Ray J and them was out there singing and that shit was horrible and he want to fight me about that, he got a problem. Right? Now, I'm going to tell you something. This coming from a nigga that's fully equipped for the bullshit. I come straight. I'm fresh out of it. So I'm fully equipped for the bullshit. I'm comfortable in the darkness. But for the sake of the culture, we got to bridge these gaps, home. We got to be able to talk about us because Fox News going to talk about it. Ain't nobody going to go up there with their firearm. But man, I wish I would go on that show and disagree with that man. But it's sad we can't look at each other and see pathways, right? When I look at Charlemagne, I see a pathway. When I see Diddy, Jay, you know, when I see a Joe Budden, a Rashad, a B. Marshall, all these guys, the Revolt shit, Big Bank, niggas got to look at each other and see pathways. Like, damn, bro, did it like that, bro. That's the way we can do it, bro. Nigga don't have to look at each other and see competition. Nah, I'm talking about, but we get it fucked up. We've been trained to go. We've been trained to be competitive because we in a situation where the resources are limited. And you develop in a way when ain't shit going your way. Yeah, you develop different. You develop different when you don't know whether or not you might got a pack. You don't know whether it's going to get off because Big Home and them coming through $10 cheap on the grams than you. You can't afford to go $10 cheaper. You ain't buying but so much, right? Develop in a certain way, dog, and you won't never understand it if you didn't come from it. But I think we got to stop looking at each other like competition. Let's talk about Chadwick Bossman. Very unfortunate situation, but let me update my audience exactly on what we're speaking about. Chadwick Bossman was the star in Black Panther, was battling a rare form of cancer, and passed away without a will. Him passing away without a will cost him $900,000. A couple of things that I'm interested in about this. Number one, always have a will, especially if you got some money. Even if you don't got no money, have a will. Whatever you got, let your presence be felt on where they place your belongings. Right? We had to have some understanding about what we want to happen in the case of our demise. I know that it's a hard conversation because nobody want to talk about it. Right? You don't want to. It's almost like you quarterbacking the play to your death. But to ignore the facts would be a dumb move. So you got to know death is on the table for everybody. You understand? We hope our bail isn't wrong early, but we never know, right? So we got to try to get our affairs in order. His situation, for me, a couple of things I want to speak about. Number one, he was worth $3.8 million, his estate. That's what he was worth. That's all he had. $3.8 million. When I heard that, I said, something ain't right. We got to rewind the tape. Black Panther was $1 billion movie. What kind of splits we dealing with? What the hell is the arrangements? Did he do that free for y'all? Did y'all even allow him to do such a thing? Right? What's the splits for him to be worth $3 million at the time of his demise, coming off the highest selling Marvel movie at the time? unfortunate for the splits to be so unfavorable, like 3.8 million. Now, if somebody gonna explain to me he hasn't been paid for that yet, explain to me the breakdown of that, right? I don't get that. No upfront money, no residual. Like, what are we doing? 3.8 million from $1 billion movie, and that's just one movie. He has several other movies. So my first thinking was for black actors. I wondered how black actors being treated out there. I mean, I know we hear about the Denzels, the Wills. That's why, again, I had to backtrack some of what Will did, because he had worked himself in a position to be the highest paid man, but I know he broke down, so I give empathy for that. I don't view that the same way everybody else views it, because I know he was in a dark place when he made that decision, and I also look at his track record. See, I don't take from a man what he's earned when he makes a mistake. I think that's a mistake, but we'll set that to the side. I thought about black actors and said, damn, how they don't make sure we compensated in a way that's effective for our family, right? You involved in $1 billion movie, and then you go. I would, as the owners, as the people behind Black Panther, I would hate that that's out right now. I'm like, oh my God, they done let out that he ain't made, but oh my God, is that gonna have some backlash? Is that gonna have some? Is people gonna look at us funny? I mean, because I'm worried about something like that. It makes me think, yo, so some of these people are really only getting famous even on that level. Billions of dollars are being made, and they giving you, that gotta be a 0.1% or something. That's a weird number, 3.8. But let's move that to the side. Because he didn't have a will, the fees broke him down to 2.3 million. He lost $900K because he didn't have a will. It ain't nothing. It ain't a piece of paper in the world worth $900K. It ain't a piece of paper in this world worth $900K. So you gotta, dude was worth 3.8 million. Might have just said, fuck all this. Fuck the money and everything. I'm sick. I'm just fuck this shit. Whatever that money do, fuck it. But you gotta think, yo, look who got $1 million at the state just for fees. Man, that's sad. That could have went to your wife or your mother. One thing we know too, man, in the ghetto or just in our culture is the lack of resources will tear a family apart when somebody died that had some money. Man, they go to scrambling, boy, like Donovan McNabb when somebody died that got some money, boy, they not bullshit. Know what I'm saying? It'll tear a whole family apart about that house that they left over there. So some people understand it, man. Dang, somebody died, a family fall apart. I remember my homeboy was telling me his people died. They was at his people's house. His mother died. They was at his mother's house the day she died, going through her house, looking through her shit to find money and shit. I'm like, yo, that's how it is. Everybody in the room searching. They ain't gonna say nothing, boy. Oh, $2,500. Put that in your pocket. You found something? Nah, I ain't found nothing in here. Nothing but these clothes. Know what I'm saying? Man, so the family fall apart when it's 2-3 million involved. For Chadwick, I didn't understand why he would get married like 8 months, 6 months. It was either 6 to 9 months before his death. Like, respectfully to you, I love you like a motherfucker. I'm going to tell moms or whoever get the money to take care of you, make sure you hit Shouty, man. Shouty been holding me down. But, man, I done married you respectfully to her, and I know she probably hurt, so I'm not saying this as offensive to her. I want to move this off Chadwick Bossman and just view this as someone that has to deal with relationships and things like that. Why would I marry you and I'm finna die? I know you treat me well, man, but damn, do I want to leave my money to y'all? I'm first generation millionaire. See, it be them Warren Buffett niggas that don't give a fuck about their money. They had money a while. If you bitches ain't got rich off me now, y'all ain't getting my money. I'm a walking bankroll, and y'all wait till I die to get my money. Nah, I'm giving this shit to anybody. Them the niggas that get their money to anybody, but them old first generation millionaire niggas better button that shit up. Yeah, Warren Buffett and them look at it different. You supposed to got rich while I was living. I made a bunch of money. Y'all didn't get nothing, and then y'all gonna wait till I die and fight over mine? No, I got it in my will. Give it all to them people over there that ain't got a dime. You niggas better figure out how to hustle, cause I was around here showing you, investing in it. Just copy me, dumb motherfucker. I'm your family. But you again, I can get them, but first generation millionaire, nah, hell hell no. Hell no. We not doing that. I guarantee the mother might got some disdain for that. Like, dang, like, bro, you used my son, even if she didn't. I think it was a football player that had just got married or something, and he passed away, and now half the money go to the girl. Like, bro, man, that's a weird thing, man. Like, especially like knowing something wrong with you. I mean, I know love is love, man, and you just like, fuck it, man. Because what'll happen is, in my opinion, in your last days, you get caught in that emotional. You get probably real emotional, like, man, you really right here staying. I know this is a burden on you. And then it's my money. So if he want to leave something to her, that's his thing. But like, if you been with your woman 5-6 years, didn't get sick, yeah, she gets something. That's the wife. But I'm sick. I'm with you. I'm with you 6 months, and I marry you. I know I'm finna pass away. That's a weird thing for me, man. I don't know. Let me just say this, man. I like a thick woman, right? Women who are thick, you are some of the most, in my opinion, ain't nothing like sex with a thick woman, right? It's a different thing for me. I don't even like, for me, respectfully, I don't know if it's because of maybe my experience. Like, I've had some skinny girls, do some things, right, that was interesting to me. It was one in particular I had a good time with, but the thick girls got my phone number. Oh, man, when it's back there, I love that shit. Now, the only thing is, when I went to this pool party, I'm starting to realize that, boy, you got to be careful who your doctor is if you wearing the string. I don't know what it's called, but when it ain't no padded thing, it's just a string. Boy, that show the real shape of that booty. Boy, if your doctor hands wasn't right, boy, and you put that string on, I'm going to see a box Chevy. I'm going to see a different kind of, it's going to show me the real shape of that booty. Some of them is right, but some of them you be like, oh, the doctor slipped. The jeans be making that look, or the dress. Some girls get on. See, I'm on to y'all. See, I'm a connoisseur of things, so I pay a real close attention, right? I'm hyper focused on shit. So sometimes some girls can only wear dresses, certain little dresses, because they put pants on and it give a certain look. It's a different look, but them dresses get that look. But boy, that string, when it break it down to the bare minimum, that string gonna show every time what kind of shape you dealing with. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of dudes will hit that motherfucker. It don't matter. If it jiggle, boy, you got action with some guys. But when you get to dealing with the bougie tell you, man, the top of your booty don't match the bottom of your, like, them go to examining it. Some of these ain't trying to, if it look thick, bring it here. Yeah, bring it here. You understand? But a lot of times, that string gonna expose your doctor, results. You understand? That's really the only thing exposed, because the dresses I see, the dresses will make it look like he's right. Them dresses is one of the, in my opinion, my humble opinion, the tight dress for the woman may be one of the greatest inventions known to mankind. You understand? Not only what it does for her ability to fit in the summer, right, and get air, because I think a sundress and certain dresses like that is made in a way where you're not as hot if you got jeans and shit on, right? But what it does for the shape and the figure is also not to be looked over. You understand me? But pay attention when they got that string on. That string gonna show you what they really working with. Finesse 2 times is now home. Give a round of applause for Finesse. Finesse 2 times is home, right? Got the white boys cheering on my soundboard. Shout out to Rode. Got that new Rode Procaster 2 for my birthday. That's a whole nother thing. Got a bunch of gifts. Birthday just passed. Y'all hit me with a cash app or Patreon or something if you with the kid. So I forgot that you supposed to do shit like that. I was just finna move on, don't even talk about. But my loved ones take good care of me, man. Like, my old lady got me this Rodecaster Pro, a new MacBook, some paper, a whole bunch of shit, you know what I'm saying? But Finesse 2 times just came home, man. Finesse is one of those guys, for those of you don't know, that came from Memphis. He had the song. Let me actually play the song. From the South, you know this song right here.
Time.
If you're not from the South,
I'm back.
you might have heard it, may not, but this is where Finesse 2 times. This song kind of had his most reach on it, and he also was cool with Moneybagg Yo.
Mixing the act with the slushy. Baby mama favorite buff. I pull up all of a sudden. American, I got the Russian.
So he just got out, man. Like I say, he had signed to Rap A Lot. I always told y'all to pay attention to that competition with Rap A Lot and CMG. It seemed like they trying to, with CMG, what we doing? Let's look at him jumping off the jet Finesse 2 times.
Y'all don't know how this feel, man. This different right here, man. Mom, here. I'm talking about I got transcript. Now I can see this shit. Yeah, I was facing daddy, man. He's holding on now. Get what's going on, mom. I'm used to here. Let me get this. Yeah, let me get this. Continue. All right. We'll see y'all boys tonight, man. We outside tonight, man.
You know, you like to always see come home, do they thug thizzle. That's part of life, elevation, understanding, especially when they do it the right way. And for all intents and purposes, we've been notified that for the most part, as far as we can tell, Finesse has done it the right way. He ain't told on facing a lot of time. See, it's unfortunate that our stripes even got to be earned in that way. Right? Our stripes, they got us done tricked us into soldiers for some shit that ain't worth nothing, right? We got to earn our stripe, boy, 30, 40 years on the line, boy. I ain't said nothing about nothing. And although that's honorable and gangster, it's real, right? To stand on your word more importantly, but it's fucked up that they got our life on the line about shit like that. See, and for me, my nigga, I always look at life and I like to joke and laugh, but man, shit important to me that we understand the trick bag that we was in. I do want to let Finesse know we got to get an interview in. It's up there, podcast. Welcome home, my nigga. It's different out here now, right? Everybody dressing like they in the sports. The women are dressing like the tag team champions of the world, and the men are dressing like Mike Tyson in the heavyweight bout in like 91. So we got a lot going on out here. If you've been gone, I know Bobby looking at it, couple of looking at it like, okay, they done fast tracked a lot of shit, so just eyes open. But get to the bag, stay out of situations where you're back against the wall. Ain't no money against the wall. All the money out in the open, you got to get out there to get the money, right? When they got your back against the wall like that, and unfortunately, adversity builds character, right? You can build a character in your head, but you haven't built it out until you can see what it's like when it's under pressure. You understand me? When you see that other on Call of Duty hit that corner fast and boom, pop, pop. Now this is where your skill tested, not just shooting on training mode. That ain't gonna do nothing. When that adversity comes, something in front you, right? I always tell her swinging at that bag look good to a nigga in front that shit. Yeah, y'all some of the best swinging in the world with nothing in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Look like Joe Frazier with nothing in front of him. Let's talk about this. A guy showed up to his baby mother's home with a meal for his child, although she had other children. These circumstances caused a viral firestorm in which the internet reacted and everybody became correspondents reporting live from a baby mama's perspective. Right? Me, I indulge in it. I don't involve myself with the internet shenanigans in regards to the comments and things like that. I let somebody else run my page in that way. But when it comes to me, I say I'll talk about it on the podcast. I had a feeling that it was a moment. Anytime the camera's out, I view it funny, especially when the angles are so right. So again, but we move past that and we deal with what happened because it is a conversation to be had. Right? You got to put yourself in a situation to understand things. So let's take a look at the video of him showing up. Let's look at her perspective, and we'll come back with some game about it. All right, so you see that. And I want to provide a couple of different perspectives on this, man. You know, I think life is about what you understand and how you navigate through it, right? Position is important when you're dealing with these kind of things. I think if the guy involved in this had a bankroll, I don't think that's a question, right? If you got the money, now if he pull up in the Bentley, if he pull up in the Benz, a Cadillac, or a new car with drip on and all that, he can probably afford it. Although being able to afford it and being held accountable are two different things. I need people to follow me as I navigate through the weeds with this, right? When the guy pulls up in a Monte Carlo, that already says to me he ain't batting 1,000. Yeah, nah, he barely making it. You understand? He ain't one of them guys. So now I already manage my expectations when I see him, and sometimes we have a problem with managing our expectations. Shawty, you see, dude, you know what type vibration this is. What is this dude, right? Respectfully to him, I know this is a character, but let's deal with with it where it laid at. Constant reminder, the black man got to perform 3 times better than these other guys. Black man got to be 300% of what these niggas is to even be considered high level. And it's a shame. I got to put 2 and 3 hours a game down a week for people to even say it's worth listening to. Why these other dudes give you 50 minutes where they guest talk 38 minutes of it. I understand the game is the game, so I put the work in. But look at this dude. He bring in food for this woman. I don't think he's in the best financial situation. Now, if you balling and you do that, I'm going to look at you as petty. You don't have to do anything, but if you can afford to, I don't see the issue as that is her siblings, right? I also look at it and say, hold on, though. If I bring in something and the expectations is me to bring something, why we don't share them expectations with the other baby daddies? See, a lot of times they put more on one baby daddy because he this and these other one because they that. Like for me, I don't understand that. If the expectations is the expectation, let them be clear and concise. Yeah, let everybody get the same expectation. You understand me? So to be fair, you know, you say a black man can't win. I bring food for my child. I'm wrong because I didn't bring it for the whole house. Man, I pull up in the 98 Monte Carlo. I can't find an engine for this mother. They don't even sell these no more. And you think I got the kind of money to be able to just wham. I might be broke. But I find it crazy that sometimes people will put the pressure on you that they don't put on the man that enjoyed the nut. Yeah, when you enjoy that nut, you pay for that. Nah, you pay for that one. Yeah, now that one where you left it in and boy, you got lost for them little 8 seconds, that one cost you. And now I got to pay for that one. I ain't enjoy that one. Now, if I enjoyed the 8 seconds, it's cost me 18 years. Know what I'm saying? Cost me a lifetime because, you know, but I'm saying just from a legal perspective, you know, we look at like, yo, it cost me 18 years, that 8 seconds right there when it was the shit. But damn, I got to handle what he enjoyed. That feel funny. Nah, man got a better fruits of his own labor. And he went to work on that little shit, not me. Covered all the aspects like you knew what you was getting yourself into. I wonder, can a man say that, yo, you dating me, I got $40,000 of money in bills. You knew what you was getting yourself into now. Where your 20K at? Well, yeah, now I got 40,000 in bills a month. Where your 20K? You knew what you was getting yourself into dating a nigga with a condo and 2 houses. You knew what that was. She gonna be like, nah, it's your situation. Nah, you knew what you was getting yourself into. You knew my lifestyle was. It's like, nah, ain't nobody sharing that. And so for me, I really, like I say, man, if you got the money, if you balling, it ain't nothing. I don't think it's nothing. I just think it's unfortunate that we don't even consider the financial situation. He pull up in one of the cheapest outfits I done seen in a Monte Carlo. And we gonna tell him, man, you supposed to bring something for everybody. Let me say this. Public service announcement. If you got a little boy and he keep getting caught with a fake gun, where he carrying it like it look real, you got to get a hold of him because he's falling victim to being a wannabe. That is the early stages of wannabe. riding around with your gun on you, you know, done spray painted it black. You gon' cause why I'm saying this is young boys are getting killed for having these little things on them. Right? These videos, these music videos where these dudes prancing around with these loaded weapons have led to the deaths of some of these children. Right? I remember a Facebook video going around that hurt my soul. It scarred my mind. I probably never get over seeing that. I don't watch shit like that. But the internet is a weird place and it's slippery. They accept it when it look like us and they neglect it when it look like them. I'm aware and I'm alert. Let me say that again. I'm alert. I'm going to move on. I watched on the internet. They had a little girl in the room with one of them guns the rappers got with the drum on it. And I'm telling you, it hurt my heart. I wanted to go out and smack one of them. Just the first I see. I want to smack him because I know what I'm dealing with. But I know love is without judgment. So I know we lost, but to get lost is to find the way. So I don't look at us. I'm just embarrassed for us. I know we with it. We way more smarter than that, right? But our conditions cause us to cripple our understanding. Our conditions cause us to develop in a specific way, and I get that. So I try to view it through the lens of a man that has a little more information, but ain't no better than anyone coming through this tunnel. I know this tunnel leads us to the other side. I'm trying to bridge the gap every day. That's my mission. Bridge that. That's what I'm doing. But when these children get caught in this weird place, I was so upset. The little girl playing on the phone, she done went live with the gun. Boom, the gun go off, hit her. She fall. It hit the ground. Boom, hit the other dude. He fall. It killed 2 kids. People come in there. Cause they hear the gunshots coming in and see them. They still on live. Now they holler. My thing is now, what was that? That's a video. That's strictly from the music. I'm embarrassed. But we try to scare our way to the top. We try to scare niggas, right? That's what they doing, trying to scare each other to the top. I ain't like the mother rappers. If I tell you do a feature, all that shit ain't working. Shit get indicted. Oh, now niggas hoeing me. Keep them sticks. All is getting indicted. But I'm thinking in a weird way, some of these niggas saying, man, it's worth the indictment. If I get up out this shit, it's worth the indictment. I'm going to go do 10 and come back thin. And that's embarrassing because there's several ways for us to get out this tunnel. There's several ways for us to navigate out. But when you got a child and he want to carry the gun and put it on his hip and hide it under his bed, you dealing with the early stages of either a wannabe or a killer. Both them guys are in trouble. Every law that in my town now, you got this mandatory 85. No, it's mandatory 100% on all that little guns, all that little murder, assault. It's 100% non-negotiable. And my thing is, you already running around playing that little game. You're gonna get spanked. Cause you think cause you got a gun, the score is even. You didn't know I had cameras all around the spot. I knew where the only blind spot was and saw you coming. Picked you right off. Cause you got your gun, but you ain't dealing with no information, young. You got a big gun, but you ain't never been through training. You looking like you just looking like a Fed case to me. Nah, you looking like a Fed case to me with that big old weapon. They don't know what to do with it. I don't know where these guys grew up at or how they grew up. I saw street dudes rolling and on the ground, gun wars. I saw it with my own eyes. Knowing his participation. Stop me when I'm lying. I'm not telling no lies in here, man, ever. I saw it with my, so again, understanding that, bro. See, everybody want a thug or a gangster for a boyfriend, but not for a son. And see, they confused that their son is watching who they like as a boyfriend. Right? Your boyfriend or your man or the guy, the dude you choose to love, if he one of them ones that in and out of prison and the kids get to see him with his firearm. See, I try to be discreet. My children know I got guns and I have to move a certain way, but they don't never, I ain't just, you know, it ain't like that. The image that I need them to see is the man that get up and go to work and take care of the business every single day faithfully, no matter what the circumstances are, upright and independent, always about it, us never them. I need them to know that and stand firm, and I saw him doing that, right? But them kids paying attention to who you marrying and who you going with, and so he gang banging, he don't got no job, and he stay up all night, and that's what the children want to do. And if they don't get a hold to that, you breeding something that ain't gonna see. You breeding a big dog with a little nose. You breeding what they call a show horse. Them don't live long. Now you ain't breeding no old faithful. You breeding a show horse. You breeding a big old good looking dog with a little nose. See, that little nose mean he can't breathe good, so it won't be long. Stay at the doctor. Stay needing surgery. That little bitty nose on that big dog. But see, you don't know it's a show horse. We don't need no more show horses. Yeah, we blending in as show horses. Nah, we blending in as show horses. That's the trick bag we put them in. Yeah, we show horses. Yeah, gang, yeah. While we build it. Whole time. But let me be quiet. And let y'all just let that, like the homie say, sizzle in your spirit, man. You know what I'm saying? But I think we got to wake up, dog, and we got to put ourselves in a situation to really elevate and let the kids know now the ones that's working hard, them the ones. Yeah, the ones that's going to get it, them the ones. Nah, upright and independent. Never them, always us. And we stop with the Chris Brown and Usher talk respectfully. I love Chris. Chris is a legend, but Usher's a different thing, man. I'm talking about 20 of them things with the verses, man. Come on, man. Usher need R. Kelly. Usher and R. Kelly is the move. You know what I'm talking about? But it ain't gonna be no Usher, Chris Brown. It just ain't gonna be to me. I think, and maybe because I grew up in that area, maybe the younger kids tell me if y'all think Chris Brown got them kind of things that Usher got. Usher had some shit that Jermaine had a certain tune. It was a certain sound. You know, and Chris got that sound, but the beats is something, man. It's something that, I don't know, I can't put a finger on it. It was just great music. And I don't think that we doing it any justice when we say that him and Chris Brown would be a good matchup, in my opinion. You know, I love Chris Brown. He's smoking it. He in a weird place because he's smoking everybody else. But then Usher's just a little too high. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dang, it's a weird thing because it's like, who else? Well, it ain't really nobody else because everybody else, Chris gonna make them look small. And so it ain't disrespect, or it ain't to diminish, right? It's just to identify and say, that's how great Usher is, but homie, you just as great and still rolling. But that's just a little too high. You got to give us more of them slowed down joints like that. Some of them joints, some of them slowed down. And I know you got a lot of them. Fans, don't smother me. I know we got a lot of them, but some of them 7 o'clocks and some of them Lil Jon, them Lovers and Friends, or some of them, what is that, Seduction, or like, dude got some of them joints back in the day, Confessions, all that shit. Like, come on, son. You know what I'm noticing? I'm noticing that first I'm like, yo, Loon, there's so much going on. Why we be having these conversations where we arguing and going back and forth about these frivolous topics? And so I wonder, why aren't we having those real conversations? Then I have to think, Loon, we having those real conversations. The problem ain't we ain't having them. The problem is we're more loud about the bullshit. Right? The bullshit get more traction, get more attention. And I'm not sure if it's, I don't think it's because we're uneducated and that's the only vibration that we can identify with. What I think's happening is that we just love to indulge in that. Someone has to be innovative, man, to be able to put the medicine in the candy in a way to resonate. Because it's clear that a page will post something where, luckily for me, I deal with both topics, right? So I give you the highest level of understanding on certain things, right? Game is what I call it. It's really the highest level of understanding. I give you that on one side, and then on the other side, I deal with maybe some of the bullshit, some of the, like now we dealing with submissive women and it's arguments on both sides. Dudes just want you nice. You know what I'm saying? Submissive may be a word that by definition, but our understanding is, yo, just be nice to a provide peace. Peace offering. Provide a peace offering. What we arguing, what is that, right? And so I go to thinking like, yo, we loud about that because Killer Mike is on Revolt, killing it with the certain conversations. You got 19 keys over there killing it with certain conversations, right? Of course, I provide you certain conversations. You got so many different waves of things happening, but and all those things get the traction that it deserves to sustain itself in the market. Let's be clear with that. But what I'm saying is I see that even in my own observation, right? Because I deal in both worlds. I see where y'all louder about this than y'all are about that. And then my approach to that was that should resonate way further than me speaking about arguing about what's a submissive woman. I understand that we need some understanding on that. So let me be clear on that and not ignore the fact that we do need understanding. And I need understanding. And so never take me talking on this mic as me thinking I know everything. I'm trying to talk my way through some of these things, right? And hopefully talk somebody else through some of these things. So we dealing with ideas and information over here. We not sure of anything and we don't think we know everything. But it's important for us to, number one, it's important for us to dream. It's important for us to dream. It's important for us to believe, right? And also, man, the devil will try to trick you out your bag and put you in his. You know, and just like I was speaking about us not understanding that none of you guys are street. 97% of you guys are good guys. So y'all don't want to handle things in a way that the gang banging handle it. So let's take that off the table. And if there's an issue that the community can learn from or the culture can benefit from, there's not something that you really feel has crossed the line, let's have the conversations like the whites do. Let's put it on Front Street. Somebody put it on. I'm with listen, and you talking to somebody, I want you to keep, I said this earlier, I want you to keep the ghetto shit out of the media. I'm going to see you and I'm going to beat you up unless it's disrespecting. Now, if he disrespecting, you don't tell a man how to react to disrespect, and I won't overstep my boundaries and do so. But when we deal with the business side of this, if somebody's making 200 million, if you're 40, 30, 10, 15, whatever, if you just a guy that's in this business of entertainment and media, look at the whites for a minute. See, and I'm going to tell you who done caught on, Stephen A. He done caught on. He inviting come talk because he know it's just, y'all, everybody just talking up there, man. They ain't finna do, why would they? If they do something, they go down as the dumbest in history. If you let a motherfucking ring announcer or a sports broadcaster put you in the trick bag, you go out as the dumbest in history. And I know some of these people are fighting to prove a point. But there's no longer, they young though. They young, but you supposed to have already got all that out the way. Where you stand as a man tells me where you sat as a child. So if you wasn't thugging as a child and you trying to get your thugging off where everything is at risk, I look at you like an idiot. And that's respectfully to anyone. And I ain't telling you to be corny and dumb. Like come in tripping over your own feet. Now you can have the style of the culture. You can have the swag and all that and not be going in the trick bag by no ring announcer or sports guy or whatever these dudes is called. Nah, we don't let them do that to us. We done made it too far. Boy, we come through the tunnel. These niggas had it easy. How we gonna let a nigga that had it easy trick us into making it back hard? Nah, we don't do that. So now I just embarrass you because I got a certain kind of flavor, Skip. So you call me up there or Stephen A., whoever doing the talking, Kendrick, whoever that they think is saying their name, just go equip yourself with the information, go see him and smother him on his own shit. Fact at the fact. He would, hey, yo, hire me, home. Listen, I got a company now. All you NBA, NFL being picked on by the media, Hire me, I'll get your talking points together and send you up there through there and tear his mouth out on this show. I'm dead serious too. I'm dead serious. I provide all the talking points. I provide all the information you need to now invite him into your arena or go into his arena with a solid array of things to say that'll get you in a situation to embarrass him. Because if you're worth that amount of money, now you just playing the game, man. You know, the hard part is over. Nah, we don't go backwards. We done made it out. Man, please. You a ring announcer, man. You got a suit on and shit, you know what I mean? Right? You still, see, yo, bro, hire me. I'm for hire. You understand? And if it get too snazzy, you can hire me for both sides and let somebody hire me exclusive. And then when you know the business of podcasting or just entertainment, that's why I say the athletes have a head start, because when you're an NFL person or NBA guy, unlike the rapper, you get a certain kind of media coverage on mainstream television all the time. What that does is it introduces you to mainstream media and an audience that may or may not transition and translate to what it is you do after you leave the field or the basketball court. So if you deal with the rapper has a different level of publicity and media coverage that does not translate after he puts the mic down, because matter of fact, if anything, it dies when he puts the mic down, because the way that you're promoted and the media paints you as a rapper, and that's why it's up there, podcasts and, these other shows are important, because able to get another side of the out there, the other side of the rappers that show what it is that they bring to the universe, the vibrations of these guys, right? And so what happens with the rapper, they tend to promote you in this gangster image type way outside of people like Drake, Travis Scott. I like what the baby is. He's kind of treading the line, but he got to be careful, because I don't know what that turns into, right? He's kind of on that ludicrous line, but he can also give you that street. But set that to the side. A lot of times, outside of some kind of mainstream act, and even with mainstream acts, they tend to shed gangster light on you, gangster image. Every time they talk about you, your come up. Coming from the mean streets of Philadelphia, coming from the mean streets of Tennessee, overcoming the crack era. And now let's start telling success story. Let's start from now, once that's out there, start painting me to these people that's the man that indulged in rap, transition, got him 2 or 3 business, got 10 million in property, 4 million in trucks, 18 million in commercial real estate. Start talking about those things, and now I'm accepted a different way. I'm viewed a different way, and sometimes the coverage that you get as a rapper is not that. If anything, it's the contrary. And so when you are not, they'll deal with you when you're hot, because every brand want to strike when the iron's hot. I keep telling y'all, you dealing with people that's in the culture but not of the culture, so they deal with numbers and they don't respect the future. So they'll deal with a when he hot because they don't have a choice. You pay with your eyeballs, so people are there to see you, and then they get to see that brand. It's just an even swap, ain't no swindle. But when that fire goes out, they won't stand by you or stand next to you or uplift you, because there's no more equity in doing so. And that's why you got to transition yourself. You saw with Jay, you saw with Ye, you saw Diddy, you saw we got the spin off, and or you'll start to be like what happened to Jeezy the other day, where he just on stage, they throwing warns. When he was 21, that might not have meant nothing. Now that's disrespectful. To him that was disrespectful. She threw warns on him. But as a 40-year-old man up there singing that song, they on that vibe. They on that young shit. You fought it now. That's the one thing I don't like about rap, man. Or I ain't gonna say I don't like, because the money's there. So it provides you a situation to still be able to feed your family, and I gotta applaud that. But I view that away, man, when I see, I'm gonna tell you what specifically irritates me. I think it's Slick Rick. And I love Slick Rick, what he's brought to the game. I understand his contribution. I understand what he's done, what he's added to the algorithm, how important he was to the ingredients of what it is we do. But I hate to see him show up with all them chains on and the shit over his eye. it make me feel bad for him because I said, damn, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. They still got us pulling out the legendary outfits. They ain't accepting us. Hey, yo, I'm older now, man. You know that was me, but now I'm selling sea moss. Like they ain't respecting us to do nothing else. What they doing to us? Got to come out as 81 with the Hulkamania outfit on. No, I ain't doing Hulkamania no more. My skin ain't right. I ain't got no hair no more. Undertaker, yo, bro. No. It's almost like they don't let you evolve. Now, I don't know if I want to say they don't let you evolve or you got to push up on them with the evolving. You got to let them know, nah, that ain't it no more. I'm going this way. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm loud about what it is I'm doing. Like even when you seen Jay was rapping about 100, 100, million, 3 million, 4 in just 5 years, 40 million. Let's put this in perspective. Yeah, 1 million, 2 million. Yeah, 3 million, 4 in just 5. Yeah, put this in. I'm getting to it. Yeah, now they think I'm still rapping. I done changed over. And he was intentional with letting you know, button ups, ain't no more the jerk, right? He letting you know, and that's what I'm trying to tell the game. Pay attention. It's high level. You dealing with the highest level of understanding. Coming through and they telling you, they pushing up on you with the nah, we ain't doing that no more. All that rap showing up with all that. Yo, I wore that Mr. T in the 80s. That's over with. What I'm doing now is I got C-Moss real estate and I got a little course I'm giving out. Now, which one y'all with? Yeah, it's still me, Slick Rick, but I ain't doing that no more. You know what I'm saying? I done evolved. Now I'm doing business this way. You know, you got to push up on them with that. We got to allow people to evolve in this culture, man. And sometimes it gets scary for a rapper to push up on them with the evolving because he gonna get some pushback. But see, these folks followers, I always remember. And I'm talking to the rap now. Rap, I know y'all listening. And if you ain't listening, you're in the wrong place. Over here, we dealing with the highest level of understanding. Rap, listen, they gonna push back on you, but these people followers. All this internet shit is fodder. It's fog. This shit is fake. When you push up on them and you keep pushing and start being successful with it or even start being great at it, they gonna come on in. I always remember the notoriety. I always remember they pay with their eyeballs. So while we transitioning them, we letting them know what it is that we doing. While we doing that, we expecting some pushback. But we know y'all followers. Yeah, nah, they followers, dog. They gonna get on the train. Just keep pushing. But you gotta evolve or they gonna have you showing up 35 years later with all the chains on and something over your eye when you 60 and you really can't see good no more. You ain't got no business being 62 showing up with a whole bunch of gold chains and something over one of your eyes, Grandpa. Paul can't even see good. You ain't got no way your glasses at, man. They done played us. They got us stuck, and I ain't liking that. And y'all got to remember, success doesn't come overnight. I know that. I'm pushing, I'm pulling, I'm working. I'm consistently consistent. I'm one of them kind of guys. So I'm telling you, you got to push up on these people with the evolving. They going to act like they don't accept it. They going to act like, he doing too much showing off his girl and this and that or whatever it is you doing. But you got to know. But first, don't just throw anything on them. Pay attention to what's happening. And when you really true to it and ready to evolve, like y'all got to take me. I'm making this kind of music now. Know what I'm saying? I still might give y'all one or two of them because I'm feeling like that. But I'm not finna let y'all push me into this little hole where I got to keep making these records. Nah, I'm evolving. Right? And it's best for me to evolve with these people budget. Ain't no sense in me. See, a lot of wait to do that. They let these people convince them never to evolve. Stay doing this. This is why you winning. Then soon as they cut them off, you got to evolve with your own money. And boy, that risk look different when that label ain't got nothing in on it. When they come back and say, you got to spend $6 million to get this launched in the right way, man, your fans going to push back. You say, that man, the label would have put in 70% of that. I could have gave $2-3 million. You know what I'm saying? Just understanding some certain things like that. Let's talk about submissive women. There's been a clip going around, man, where there's a young lady speaking about what it means to be submissive to a man, her viewpoints on it. You know, love is a very slippery place. Everybody enjoys it, right? It's a weird agreement we make with another individual that we have the same feelings for each other, and we are committed to keeping those feelings intact in that place and forevermore, right? It's crazy because when you look at love, you can love several people and have had several people who you were in love with. That would make you question whether or not the forevermore is there. But then you can argue that some people can say that you can love all those people simultaneously. So those conversations are even conversations that you can dive deep into. But the arrangement that we make with people that we meet, that love is involved, and we now have reach some sort of climax in regards to feelings, the emotions we have towards each other and for each other have exceeded those of the feelings that we have for other people, right? So now I put you in this other little space, right? You know, I like them, but I love you. So they're here, and then I put you in up in this little cubby hole where the people that I love sit at. And in men's communication to women, I think we are not able to express ourselves in a way that's acceptable. And a lot of times it's self-inflicted. It ain't because of the woman is putting that amount of pressure on it. It's just a vulnerability that we have to accept for us to speak in a way we just don't see ourselves accepting that, because to be open is to be hurt, right? And so sometimes you rather keep it closed off and stay safe. And sometimes we may not give women the explanation that they need to understand what it is that we need, right? We always say that we have a problem with communicating our expectations. And so with that in mind, we got a lot of people trying to interpret what it is that we saying and how they feel like what we mean, you know, and what it is they mean. And women are telling men how men are supposed to feel, and men are telling women how women are supposed to feel, and women are telling men how men should act. Men are telling women how women should act. And so it gets slippery. And so there was a clip that went around about a young lady talking about being submissive. Let's listen to that.
What does a submissive woman do for her man?
Everything.
What does that mean?
You know, like packing his bag, unpacking his bag, just making sure all the things that he wants. And like, I pretty much read his mind. So it's like, if I know you and I study you, like I know how you are in the morning, I know how you are about midday, I know when you're in this mood, what you need. Like before you can ever ask me for something, I'm already on it. I mean, he's spoiled. And you know, when I talk to my girlfriends about it, I was like, oh, how you guys doing? And I'm just like, girl, he's rotten. I'm like, he's spoiled rotten. Like he's rotten. But I love that. Like I want him to be there. I think my biggest flex is how I treat my man. And I've been known to love people back to health. And sometimes it's very draining, but my love is my superpower. And I used to hate that about myself. But now it's like, I'm just embracing it. Like, that's who I am. Like, if I love you, I can heal you.
It's your joy.
It is my joy. You know, I love to see him eating the meal that I cooked. I love seeing him sleep easy. Every night, like clockwork, I scratch this man's back to sleep. And I know when he's asleep because I can tell when his breathing changes. And some people might think that's psychotic, but that's like, I just know that's when I'm like, oh, I can stop now. But I find joy in being your rest, you know? So know what that means. And that works for us because he wants what I have to offer.
What are you getting from all that you're giving? What are you asking for in return?
First of all, let me celebrate the young lady who made such a eloquent description of being nice to her man. All she was talking about was being nice, man. What is we arguing about, man? What is we arguing about her understanding? That was the highest level of understanding. That lady said, I know, listen, I pay attention. Who don't want that? That's on both sides. For me, let me deal with this young lady and what she said and frame this before we move on. Relationships are supposed to complement each other. It's not supposed to be a situation in which being with you makes it harder for me. That's not the tag team champions of the world. We looking to be the tag team champions of the world. Me and baby girl looking to be the tag team champions of the. So we got to keep it in a position where we able to compete with the world. And the only way we can do that is we dealing with the highest level of understanding of each other. Not just one thing. Like, again, the details. The devil is in the details. They always talk about the devil being in the details. They don't never talk about the progress that's in the details. Ain't nothing like your woman paying attention. Ain't nothing like your dude paying attention to you. He heard you say such and such. He took care of that. She know you like such and such. She took care of that. He know you like woo-de-wham. He took care of that with the details, though. Yeah, she like that type, that right there with mushrooms in it. Make sure you real light on the rice. Simple but dynamic, because it's dealing with the details. So here we are talking about a woman who says, look, and reportedly she's dealing with Cam Newton. Shout out Cam Newton. But you talking about a woman that's dealing with the details, and we got a problem with that? After that, we hear Britney Rener come out. Let's listen to what she said, and I want to talk about that a little bit.
It's painfully obvious why men love the idea of a submissive woman. Submissive, per its definition, is ready to conform to the authority or will of others. The prefix sub means under. Think of subpar, submarine. In short, your world is under his. Now there seems to be a theme here. Good girls versus bad girls. A lock that can be opened with many keys is a broken lock. And if you can't submit to a man, you're gonna die alone. So my question to men is, do you want perfect poly? A puppet? A prisoner? Or a partner who has no problem overtly challenging you? King treatment and knowing your partner's love languages, that's one thing. Being submissive is a whole nother thing. It's its own thing. If you find yourself abandoning your wants, needs, desires to make something work, I'm here to tell you, it was never a match to begin with.
Respectfully, they say a fool always got an ounce at the tip of his tongue. We dealing with a lady who say, yo, I'm dealing with the details when it come to my man, and I'm being nice. And what I have to offer, he wants to receive, not what I've made myself out to be. And I see she's written her down and I'm freestyling, but I'll answer a lot of these questions and try to provide some sort of runway for men to have understanding of why this tends to happen every single time a woman comes out and expresses herself as being nice to her man. I saw the other day or the other week that they said something because Young Miami was in a situation to be nice to her man and represent her man. Whatever understanding I have with my loved ones need to be an understanding that you don't need to consider. And I know she's doing this for an algorithm play or for a position play. It's a data move. It's like the Drake album. So I respect it because I'm in the game. I got to make data moves. Let's be clear on what a data move is, and let's be clear when they being made. But where I find the issue is that it gets confusing to the onlookers, right? I know when you hustling and I know you got to make a living, but you can't tell me you got a problem with someone being ass, number one. She never said that he's beaten me or he's tricked me into being a submissive woman, or these are two women that can't even talk without someone coming in to say, hey, yo, I think what they're saying is crazy, and attacking men about two women that's talking. Somebody got to help me understand why men are under attack. It's painfully obvious why men can. Somebody help me understand. And I have no malice in the fight. I love Britney Rener. I love what she provides, but I think it's starting to fog up the fucking mirrors. And if somebody with some level of understanding don't come out and say something, then we got men starting to really adopt and adapt to things that may be considered industry plant moves to plant yourself in the industry, right? She was then asked the young lady, and again, I'm having issue with understanding how men are under attack for women having a conversation. And I use the word attack loosely, right? Because I don't want to make it seem like the dialogue and discussion is bad. I stand by us needing to have these open discussions in order for us to evolve in a very specific way that's needed for us to be beneficial for each other. So I don't shun or shy away from these things. What I do know, though, is that men are seeming to be targeted about two women having a conversation. Now, let's deal with the submissive part. Words have definitions. And so if I deal with it in a way like Britney Rener dealt with it and read the definition of a lot of these words, I'll be in a very bad situation, right? These words are used in a way. Number one, the young lady who responded to the question never used the word submissive. She was, again, approached with a question. That's number one. And number two, I think submissive is used the same way I used attacked a few seconds ago. It's used very loosely. Now, can it be misused? Can it be mistreated? Yes, we believe so. But the definition or the understanding that our culture tends to have is we just want you to have a peace offering. Yeah, just provide some peace. Just provide peace. And it seemed like that we have issues with communicating our expectations because we get clowned by people when we ain't even part of the discussion. Men don't even have a voice in that discussion. And then we come out and say, it's painfully obvious why men want a woman that'll be nice to them. It's painfully obvious. He thinks you a sub. Just think about it. Subcontractor, submarine, sub. It's like, come on, man, let's be real. We just want you to be nice. Provide a peace offering. And we definitely don't want you like that. Everything we say, I think we need to do turkey burgers tonight with, the sesame seeds. But sesame seeds will provide you put you in a situation where you end up in the hospital, and that's your problem now. We don't nobody want to, don't nobody want that. Don't nobody want that. You arguing about everything. You want somebody to overtly, don't nobody want nobody to overtly criticize them or oppose them. And that's my loved one now, because I don't want to overtly oppose you. Why I want to do that to you for? If there's a problem, I want it to be a constant competition. It's like, no, baby, provide peace. I want to provide peace. I want to provide luxury to you. I want to make it obvious. There's a saying I got that I need her to make it obvious. Make it obvious that I need you around. I want you around. I want it to be obvious that, on Saturday night you want to call this here. This is the vibe over here. I'm nice. It's pleasant. It smells good. It's a big home. Ain't nobody trying to oppose you. Every little thing you say, I oppose that. I don't like cheese on my burgers. So no, let's not do burgers because you're going to eat cheese and that hurts my stomach to even like, bro, that's a hard life. What about a relationship are we fighting about when this woman was talking about being nice? I'm lost. Somebody help me understand. When I hear Britney talking, I think I'll get on the pod to just kind of further some of her thoughts, because when I hear talk, I hear fighting. Now I hear fighting. I don't hear working together. Then that's the problem. A lot of y'all fighting with your men. A lot of y'all men fighting with your women. It's a work together thing. Y'all got to be in this together. I am because we are, not we are because I am. I am because we are. And we are because I am. You understand? We working together. We're not working against each other. We don't need to be in constant competition with each other. This ain't a basketball game. This ain't a podcast or a little live event where you got to constantly be right. It seems like that's the energy that we getting. And respectfully to Britney, we'll definitely have a conversation if she want to have a conversation. I'm just appalled that we are arguing about a woman who says, I watch my man. I pay attention to the details. If he come in and he just go to the restroom, he been on a 5-hour flight. When he come out the bathroom, I'm already unpacking his Not because he said, when I get home, make sure the first thing you do is have it unpacked. That's when a man think he under you. And the idea that we'll conflate those things makes me almost say that that's dangerous. The voice, the leading voice of yo, bro, we can't do that. It's dangerous for us to conflate those two. The lady is saying, I'm taking initiative for somebody I love. That's what I provide. And then get criticized by women to say, he's made you do that. Blink twice if you in trouble. And for me, I just hate that that's the situation. Of course, last week I spoke about the verses, really crazy situation, right? The verses with Ray J and Sammy. Ray J was up there slipping bad, and he got in a situation where he had, again, being a great businessman, understood that it was an opportunity. Again, I want people to understand that the internet is fog. It's a fake place. Whatever happens on the internet, you need to put yourself in a position to understand that it's not who you are, period, good or bad, and how do we monetize if we can without hurting anyone, right? Without influencing anyone that's something in the wrong way or taking advantage of the low-level thinker and things like that, right? Try to move with morale, and at some point you may make a mistake, and that'll be acceptable for those that understand that your morale and your honor was intact. Outside of that, you got to just keep moving. There'll be naysayers. There'll be negative people. There'll be people saying that it ain't so, that it won't happen, but God said it will be so, right? You got to put yourself in a position to say, no matter what they say, I'm going to keep going. Good, bad, or indifferent, I got to keep my head down and keep swimming to the other side of the pool. Ray J, being a great businessman, understood that coming out of that, my name is in the algorithm. Coming out of that, I'm in a situation where I maybe can make something. So let me figure out what we can do. So I think he's going to get with Twitch. I think he's going to get with one of these platforms and put together something where he's able to monetize his ability or his journey on getting back to his singing voice or whatever that means, right? And so he'll have cameras with him and monetize that. Before he does that, he got on live with Bobby V and Sammy to talk about them still in his moment. In regards to singing his One Wish song like that. Like, he was really upset about that. Let's listen to what he said.
You got the other video where you singing the whole thing. How about we do a new version, or we do a song together? You gonna own it too with me. So I ain't gonna never be on that.
I'm with the unity, brother. Let's
listen. That'll go super big.
Super big. I mean, One Wish is a classic. So I'm going to Vegas Friday. Once I drink my tea, the tea that your sister made you that you did not drink. Sorry, I'd be taking it too far. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I got my friends in here.
Oh, my bad. Fuck. Nah, I'm definitely down. I'm definitely down to do a Ray J Sammy version of One Wish, dog. That's really top 5 records of my whole. I remember, bro, moving to Atlanta, just got my deal with Dallas Austin. You dropped that. I was like, dog, I want a One Wish. Like, everyone wanted. If you're an R&B dude and you really understand music and for real, you wanted that record. You wish you wrote that record or sung that record. So I was really prepared because I've been singing it in the shower and you know, the acoustics in the shower make you sound good. And I knew. I said, if I can force you to do it before you wanted to do it, that we would take over the verses. And you know, he wasn't even ready to do it. I was like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, because y'all bully. And when I look back on the thing, y'all totally bullied us out, dog, from the top. All the people saying, I look back, I didn't even, on stage, we was having so much, I ain't gonna lie.
It was fun. It was fun. No, dog. This is the best time I ever had in my life.
You hear us just try to harmonize?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was like the best time I had too, dog.
We needed to try to harmonize right now, me and Bobby V. Did you see it? You want to harmonize with
No. How did that work? How did it work out?
Well, nah.
Hey, I was listening. I don't know how Siri played that song last night. I was in the car, man.
That's rude.
That's not true. I mean, it's all over the internet.
That's rude that
you
Bob,
said. You know,
that's a very bad.
Bobby, really, you switched out on your teammate by singing with me and Pleasure. Why would you do that?
When did I switch out on y'all? I did not. I think no. Y'all messed it up because I was singing with my teammate.
Sammy,
I was
being so mean to us, man.
Y'all was mean
to us, man.
All right. First of all, I would like to say this confession. I'm from Florida, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Florida.
Yo, if you paying attention, that boy Sammy serious. I think Sammy was doing bad. And see, we gotta in this game, man. That's what I'm saying, bro. We gotta. So you gotta think, man. What was it like being a child star? How do you transition out of that? Cause the shit that work when you a little bitty child star, that don't work when you an adult. And that's why I was like, Omarion looking stupid as hell, bet trying to mesmerize a motherfucker. Ain't now motherfucker over 30 need to be trying to mesmerize now, son. Know what I'm saying? So you trying to look all and eating a thing like, yo, bro, that ain't gonna do it. Now that might do it one-on-one with a girl in a room, you and her, or small intimacy. But bro, you ain't knowing how that's gonna come off on camera. But that's that shit that happened again. That back in the day, shit. I heard Chris Brown say you look stupid as hell trying to in the corner pop locking and shit. That shit gonna come on the internet. So even he know. But Omarion kept showing his abs and and I ain't saying this as somebody hating on no man. Get your shit off. But I'm telling you, you gonna look like you might not be received the best. You understand me? And I know back in the day, girls are faint for you. You let them rub that little shit, you get that little 6-pack shit. You know, teenage motherfucker. But man, grown women, all these having 6-packs, man. Man, all these niggas having 6-packs, man. You got your hair cocked to the side trying to mesmerize or something. She gonna be looking at you dumb. At least the people I know, the sexy women or the women I know of all shapes and sizes, they ain't really, maybe that's me though. Maybe they f***ing with that. You know, now if you sang it, I don't know, bro. His vocals wasn't hitting right. Something was up with that. Shout out to Omarion. Maybe I can get him on the pod, talk about it. I ain't saying this, again, I speak without judgment, bro. I speak without judgment. Whatever it is, I know them dudes, they been in the game a long time. And when you look at Omarion versus you look at Sammy, look at that. Because Sammy would tell you, I ain't gonna lie, boy, I would just eat noodles before they pop this off. That's why he came out so hardcore. That's why I tell y'all about dealing with a motherfucker that's coming from behind. Dealing with a motherfucker that you thought was a disadvantage, that was at a disadvantage, that needed that opportunity, that needed that look, that was taking that serious. You'll see somebody like Sammy come in, he taking it dead serious. And so what that does for him is I'm coming out singing hard. I probably ain't smoked in a couple of days. Like he took it serious because he needed that push. And as far as what we seeing, he's getting a little push, but will it sustain? Is the versus push a real sustainable push? Do you really get something out of that? Does it really have legs after that? Like 3 months down the road, are you still being booked more than you were 6 months prior to the verses? Know what I'm saying? If I was Sammy and those dudes, I would be taking interviews and shit to try to make it grow legs. I keep popping out with shit because I don't got nothing else. Know what I'm saying? I'll just try to keep my name out there, but that's me understanding what the algorithm is and how to navigate through this game. But Usher ended up doing a tiny desk. I'm gonna play just a little bit of it on, we ain't gonna get it flagged because I just wanna show people that R&B ain't dead. Dudes just ain't taking it serious. That's all it is. And some of them people sounded good at the verses, but that's not the first time somebody sounded totally off to me on the verses. Let's look at Usher's tiny desk.
We find cool challenges, right? So my brother, Eric Bellinger, he created this challenge online. And I'm like, I even took the challenge. I took my own challenge. I was like, okay, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? But it was an incredible moment. And as I said, music, right? Or being able to sing.
You gotta appreciate what Usher is to the game.
It's something.
When you deal with Usher, man, it's legendary, man. So real talk. Shout out to EB.
This was his challenge. So, all right, you got it here. Yes, I'm ready for this. Eric Bellinger, ladies and gentlemen.
Talk to me nice. Oh, come on, man. Come on now.
number one. Spotlights, big stage, 50,000 fans screaming in a rage.
Usher will be a tremendous interview, man. If I can get Usher, it'll be a tremendous interview. Dude is a super legend, bro. Such a fucking historic career. So much we'll get into. So many ups, so many highs. Just a few lows, but boy, it'll be so much information involved, man. He's dealing with so much in his mind, in his brain that he's been through, been in Hollywood, singing at a high level, megastar for so long. Gotta respect.
And we came together to do something really special.
It's a lot of verses talk with him and Chris Brown, man. That's to me, I think we may have to take that off the table, man.
Can anybody tell me what Usher was doing at 7 o'clock?
And he drops out on the street.
Okay.
Classic.
Hold on, fellas. Yo. Let's go. Hey. Yeah. Oh. It's 7
You know, for me, bro, when we deal with, talking about him and Chris Brown with the verses, I don't really understand the talks. When we deal with him, man, it just ain't nothing to talk about. There will be 20 number ones or something crazy. You know what I'm saying? You got to respect it for what it is. Chris Brown got some bangers, bro, but I don't know about with Usher, bro.
Baby, I just wanna take it nice and slow.
Man, so let that be a lesson to all the R&B singers. The singing ain't dead. They out there. They just let Chris Brown go on the festival. He just did his thing. He's not been able to be on the festival in a long time, so that's great to see him do that. But Usher killed Tiny Desk. If you ain't seen that, go see that. All right, let's talk about this, man. Diddy got his Lifetime Achievement Award at BET. Round of applause for the boss man, Diddy. Legendary in the space. Roll got a very country type of clap on there, man. Very legendary in the space. Contributions unmatched, man. I think he's been the leading voice in regards to what can happen from an executive standpoint on your entry. Right, Diddy's been instrumental in our understanding of how to boss up, of how to navigate, like Kanye said, deals and certain things where people just don't know how to do. Came in the game from a prestigious HBCU that he continues to support to this day, man. And of course, I'm with Revolt, so shout out to Diddy, man. I got a lot of love and respect for him, man. Like for me, when they called me and was talking about the Revolt thing, I'm like, yo. It's not much to talk about in regards to how I feel about Diddy, how I feel about the whole circumstances over here, and just what I feel like could be brought to the game. I don't think people are loud enough about Revolt, about Ciroc, about Deleon. I think you little is too quiet about the greatness of Tidal. I think you little is quiet about Yeezy. I think we got an issue with celebrating some of our black men, although they continue to fight with no one that really should be in their corner. I heard Kanye speak about Diddy having to reach out to him a couple of times. When Kanye entered this game, Diddy was doing well. I keep telling people it's about staying power. That's what this whole shit is about, staying power. For nothing else, we got to respect our greats for the staying power, especially evolving with it. We talking about from selling records to selling real estate, from selling real estate to selling fashion, from selling fashion to selling liquor, from selling liquor to selling TV, from selling TV back to selling liquor, back to selling music and selling like there's a lot happening with these guys. So for me, the respect is never questioned. And although in our culture we always speak about our pioneers and the people on the come up and black excellence, you're not what you say you are, you what you do. So when we don't help each other, that's why I applaud them even giving $1 million here, $1 million. When you say we gonna help each other up, and I'm about doing this and doing that, but ain't nobody putting nothing into nothing. Everybody just done fell in these hoes talking. I got very little respect for that because of the people like Diddy. The people that's talking and doing, the people like the Jays of the world, the people that is moving the needle, and also giving people opportunity on the daily. Not when they feel good once a year about Christmas time, right? We ain't talk like, bro, man, it's so much I can get into about this, but watching this, I actually got emotional, huh? And I don't get emotional, but I'm in this weird place in my life, right? Where things are starting to make sense. And nigga, nothing never made sense for me. Right? As smart as people think I am, nigga, I've been navigating in deep waters my whole life. Now it seems like I'm getting close to shore. And when that's the case, it get weird for you. There's a transition that has to happen. And so it's starting to make sense. And so when I see things like this, I'm like, bro, it's really obtainable, and these people don't know how they inspire people. Like before I was signed to Revolt, well before I ever thought about a Diddy, I already was connected via hustle. See, a lot of times we connected via hustle, and it's different. It's a difference because some of y'all with the internet, y'all have what's called a parasocial relationship with some of these celebrities. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the frequency is matched. Yo, when they say I'm up in it, like it's really pushing you because you really bout that. You really own that. So I've always been able to plug in with the greats, and Diddy being one of them, and now to, again, be in a position to be closer than most to it and be able to say, yo, this shit really a thing. You ain't never seen the temple till you seen the temple. You don't know to ask, yo, how they get all this up here like this? Wasn't no forklifts or nothing back in the day. How they get it? You don't know that until you actually seen the structure. And so as I get closer to like, yo, this is one of the companies, dude. Oh, he own this. I got people from Chrome Enterprise that I got a lot of love and respect for, that they'll hit me up telling me about Ciroc events and DeLeon events. And I'm like, yo, all this is moving, and Home just kicked up understanding the game and been hustling so long. This is what it gets you when you put the work in, and I respect it from a different level. Let's look at a little bit of the speech and then come back with some game. Yeah. Man, that Kim thing hurt, homie. And every time I hear him speak about it, man, I just I can only imagine, right? You get caught in your hustle, you get caught in moving fast, and like you may or may not be able to express what should be expressed, even though you always feel it. You know, for us, man, it's rough. I keep saying we have issues with communicating our standards, our expectations, our love. Our vulnerability is an issue, man. That's why they say therapy needs to be had at a very high rate in the community, in the black community, man, because we will not open up for the sake because we're afraid to be let down. And the internet, you know, for me, they respect Diddy. They know what's up with him, right? They don't play. I think when he deal with the Carisha thing, I think they're being unreasonable, right? This is a Lifetime Achievement Award, and shout out to Carisha. She is a very, very unique individual, and I can appreciate everything she's brought to the market, as well as her position in his life, whatever that may be. That ain't my business. My problem is with the internet, y'all get in a position where y'all tend to not give context with things. Y'all won't, the same women, sometimes y'all understand when something's new, there's boundaries around what you will and will not do. And then other times people act like they don't understand that. For me, I get caught somewhere in what the fuck are y'all being lost in translation? Like this a Lifetime Achievement Award for him, or this is me graduating or doing something I've been working all my life on. And I love Shawty. But why would I mention Shawty right here? Just like I didn't understand Chadwick Bossman, respectfully to his family, being married 6 months before he was dying, he knew he was dying. Those things to me are not, there's no risk assessment involved in those things. And it doesn't speak to my love for any individual, because I won't place myself in a situation where the risk assessment tells me I have way more to lose than I do to gain. You see what I'm saying? And so I just think we got to respect the natural order of things, right? Dude, you know, especially like one thing I can also appreciate about Carisha or just women who operate like that is give a man a chance to heal. Like, you get the best version of me after the scab is healed. When you won't allow me to heal, you want me to run from what I should be conquering, right? So I'm in love, or I was in love and hurt, and I've never faced that. And you get upset when I talk about it because you insecure. So now you place me in a position where I gotta hide when I'm healing. And anytime I'm hiding when I'm healing, I ain't healing at the rate I could be healing at, because I ain't got time to hide all the time. I'm hustling. So when I do get a little time to hide and heal, it's here and there, and it ain't moving as fast as you think it should move. So now your expectations when you with me is why I ain't got over it, is because you ain't allowed me a runway to heal. I've been trying to heal from it, but you make me hide when I'm healing because you insecure about the feelings that you get when I reminisce on the mistake or the good times that made me where I am today, that got me in the situation I'm in. Whether I dropped the ball, whether I caught the pass, you won't let me look at the game tape because you too worried about the game plan. I'm not in a position where I'm working for somebody. If I tell you we are what we are, we are what we are. I am because we are because I am. Ain't no situation I'm running from. You know, you ain't paying my bills or got some kind of leverage where I'm saying I f with you, but I really don't. Nah, I gotta heal off that. And sometimes, like Shorty was saying that dates Cam Newton, sometimes you do help a person heal from things. It's like, he gave up on love. He met me and started thinking like, now love real. Now you wasn't expecting too much. Now I like to scratch your back when you go to bed. Nah, that ain't no burden for me. A lot of people sound mean to me. Just like mean people, like genuinely mean people. And for me, I don't want a mean woman. Some people might like, I like them feisty and this and that. And feisty is one thing, but I'm talking about some of these people are sounding just flat out mean. Like, you're a mean person, bro. You upset because somebody say, I like to cater from my man. That sounds like you're mean to me. But it's easy, bro, especially when you're successful, when you on top, when everything working, you be like, I'll show our love in a minute. Like, I done that. Like, I really love you. And I'm going to show you, but right now I'm doing this. I'll get to you, though. I know you're going to be there because I'm going to show you, man. I promise to God. And that arrogance will get caught in the translation. And then get what you start telling yourself based on her behavior towards you or her willingness to accept your flaws or your mishaps. You'll start telling yourself, I know you love me. I'm easy to love. Yeah, I'm successful. It's easy to love this here. You done got lost. They done, cause you done a trick on the word and got famous, got more notoriety in there. You done got lost. And then you thinking it's easy to love you. You done forgot you don't even be X, Y, and Z. And you don't call and check on this, that, some of these things that may be natural for her that she may want or need, you don't provide. But somewhere along the lines, because you financially stable, you start to tell yourself, or you providing or whatever you feel a man does, you start to do those things, and then you come up missing in the department of the things that mean the most to her. But you done told yourself I'm easy to love because I'm successful. I got money. I buy her cars every birthday, give her racks on every occasion. Everything she need, I make happen. So it's easy to be with me. How dare you act like it's a problem? And boy, when you become arrogant, you become a fool. The wise men know how to come off as arrogant, but be humble when the time is necessary. And I'm working on that. Because sometimes I got to give you bravado because it's part of the medicine in the candy. But I must remain humble and understand that the blessing is ahead of me and my best days is ahead of me, right? Understanding that. And so you got to know how to not only appreciate the journey, but appreciate, again, the people that's close to you when you beat the odds. Boy, it's rough when you lose that motherfucker that was close to you when you beat the odds. She was right there cheering you on, never left your side, let you, right? And you ain't get a chance to pay that forward. Oh my God, not with the money, but with the access. I supposed to give you access to all of me. You was right there when I beat the odds. Help me beat the odds. I was supposed to give you access to me, but I was insecure. I was a little boy. I was running from you when I should have been running to you. You was everything I needed and not missing a drop of anything that I wanted. And I was running from you because I was a little boy. I was afraid. I was insecure. You was right there when I beat the odds. You was right there when I hit the game-winning shot. When nobody believed I had that three-pointer. You was right there. I didn't get a chance to let you see and know that you deserved the access that you were asking for. First, I blamed it on my career. I'm moving too fast, babe. I'm going to give you access. Give me a minute. All my heart belong to you, but this money in the way right now. Let me get it together. Now I got money, babe. I just started this, right? So I find a way not to give it to you. And boy, when God step in, man, I don't know how to forgive myself. And I know that's a hard fight. Shout out to the homie to making it through. God said it will be so, man. But boy, I can only imagine them folk. And it made me think like, yo, you got people around you that's like really rooting for you, dog. Like you got to wake up, like stop being so, like show them people, like get them folk access, man. Access to your heart, to that good side of you, to that love, to that appreciation that you ain't never gave nobody. Let these folks see it. They love you. You know, your kids love you. Your family, they love you. Let these people see that you love them, right? And my children, they know. Like, I give them all of me. I let them see sides of me nobody else get to see. You understand? So it's a real thing, but I can only imagine what that's like, bro. But shout out to the homie. I want to play a quick video, speak about this really quick, and we'll move on because I haven't been able to watch it, or I ain't gonna say watch it. I haven't been able to read a lot into it. So this is kind of fresh for me to even talk about. Guy was paralyzed in police custody. So let's look at this video of this dude being in police custody and ended up paralyzed. Oh my God.
New video released by New Haven Police shows the moments leading up to 36-year-old Richard Cox getting seriously injured during police transport to a detention center, an injury that police say could cause paralysis.
Decisions made by some of the officers involved in this incident do not reflect the New Haven Police Department as a whole and the high expectations we have for professional conduct and the care of individuals in their custody.
This all started Sunday night at a block party on Lilac Street. Assistant Chief Carl Jacobson says they got a call from concerned residents, adding that Cox had a gun tucked into his pants and appeared to be intoxicated. He was taken into custody without incident and put in a police cruiser, according to police. Later, Cox was put into a transport van that police confirm had no seatbelts. An outside camera captures the van traveling down Division Street near the intersection of Mansfield.
He has a stop sign. It starts to inch out. The wagon hits its brakes hard.
Police say Officer Oscar Diaz was driving the van. His body-worn camera shows him honk at an oncoming car, as police say he made a fast stop to avoid a crash. Just 2 minutes before the stop, police say Cox was uncooperative, banging against the walls and lying on the floor, kicking the doors. Cox can be seen getting up to sit on the bench in the back of the van, and moments later, police say the van comes to a stop. Cox appears to slide down the bench and slam into the wall of the van, calling for help. 4 minutes later, police say Officer Diaz opens the door and Cox says he can't move. Police say Diaz called an ambulance. Cox was then taken to a detention center, which Jacobson says is outside of normal protocol.
We have a policy that says if someone's in distress in a wagon, you pull over, you call for medical assistance, and you wait. He didn't do that.
Once at the detention center, Diaz talks to Sergeant Betsy Segui. Video shows officers attempting to get Cox out of the van.
Get up. I can't move. You're not even trying.
Moments later, body cam video shows Cox is pulled out of the van by his feet.
Oh my
Officers get Cox a wheelchair when they
bro.
see he doesn't stand.
I can't feel it.
I'm troubled by it. I believe that there's an attempt to help him at first, but I'm troubled by the rest of it.
Wow, man. Golly. And there's no protocol on police officers in America. Police officers in America can literally move through neighborhoods however they see fit. And we have to depend on some kind of system that put them in the neighborhood to hold them accountable for how they acted when they were out there with no clear indication or no clear set of rules. There's really no. Now, they say there's rules in place, but bro, they treat us any kind of way when they search us. The handcuffs they ain't studying this shit. Now, they mentioned a young man had a gun. That's not illegal in that state. You can have a firearm in that state. That's number one. Number two, they mentioned that he was intoxicated. I don't know if they gave him a breathalyzer to really see how intoxicated or if he was intoxicated, right? So these things are just frivolous things that they're mentioning. Now, what I would say happened there is that he was kicking and all of that, and they got frustrated and started driving like that, knowing that it wasn't in the seatbelts in there. I'm almost certain that they got frustrated because they get frustrated. Sometimes I'm confused, like the police grab your arm, twist it, put it in a weird way and say, don't move. It's like, man, my body naturally is gonna move. That is uncomfortable. So if I try to, then I said, don't move. Hey, yo, don't move. It's like, my body is naturally trying to straighten out. You got my shit. And they don't move. One time they shot a guy, get on the ground. And he was on the ground. They start shooting, boom, boom, boom. What? I'm like, yo, they playing to the camera now. But in this case, I think they got frustrated that he was kicking and doing all that and actually started to drive crazy like that. You know, I just spent the last 5 minutes, and I don't spend much time on naysayers, but I spent the last 5 minutes thinking about the people that doubted me. Motherfuckers that counted me out, that didn't see the vision or don't see the vision, because don't be confused. Everybody still don't feel my presence. It's important for me to compartmentalize my conversation, right? And not confuse my whereabouts with my destination. I'm influential in this space, but it's important I'm paid for my time because they're making people rich for doing less than me. But I spent the last 5 minutes thinking about the people that doubted me, and I understand y'all do real wrong. Real niggas get done bad in this world. It's the suckers that they allow to slip through and slither through. And when I say real, I think the small-minded think I'm actually talking about violent individuals. I think about people like Britney Rener. Like the story of Britney Rener. Ain't nobody loud about that. The WNBA not paying enough. Ain't nobody saying that, right? We understand business in this culture and in this world, so we say for some reason it ain't making enough. But how is it the same thing not making it enough? It's a conversation to be had there that nobody has, right? But we set that to the side. I look at Thug Gunner, the YSL lyrics they using in court. Like I feel as though like I'm the last voice that even is still like loud about that. I hear it sprinkled here and there, but I was telling Revolt the other day, they ain't loud enough about some of these things. Right, we got Revolt Black News over there that's running black news all day. It don't seem like they loud enough. People ain't saying, hey, they finally covering us all day over there. Something happens, but they do real bad. They celebrate your death one time, 1 week, 1 day. You stood by the code your entire life. Look at Rollo when he done his time, Casanova. You look at it, it never stops. Whoever it is gonna fall victim to understand at home. They do real bad. Keeping it real is really a malfunction. We just deal with the consequences. I was listening to that Broken Love and Gates said, yo, they did not believe that one day I would get us out these trenches, and it rung bells in my motherfucking mind. because I already knew I was gonna beat the odds, man. I had already made my mind up when I ain't had no money and there was no gain around. I made my mind up. And boy, dealing with a made up mind is a problem for the people on the other side of that. And so I sat back and watched people as I tried to explain to them what I was doing, even though I never had to explain it because I never needed niggas. But I tried to explain like, yo, get on the board right here, right? This is what we doing. And they didn't understand it. But it's consequences for counting me out. Counted this shit out. Man, this is the highest level of understanding, man. What I'm doing every motherfucking day, chasing my dreams, can't nobody get in between me and what's necessary. As long as I stay upright, independent, healthy, and my morals stay intact, I'm proud of wherever I land at. But if you was counting on me, homie, you need to go and get your refund. It's a must I show you that it's consequences for counting me out, for betting against me. All you that never thought it'd come to fruition. All you is the street niggas that thought I was spinning my wheels because you stuck in that tornado. And I give you niggas empathy, but I don't lend too much understanding for grown men that don't see. You got to get out of this. Right? So my patience is thin with niggas, especially as I get older. And the idea that you is bet against me is speak to you principles. But I hope them is processing your refund. Betting against this shit. I hope they process your refund. I hope you kept your receipt. Because this shit getting bigger and bigger every day and can't nobody with it. I'm putting the work in. Everybody on the outside watching, seeing, yo, dude putting the work in. No outside influence. He just keep slime putting the work in, and that's what it be about, man. You fucking with a nigga that been fucking with the streets his whole life. And I don't want to come off like I'm bigger than criticism from people, because I'm not. I actually call people for critiques. It's just depending on who you get your information from. I just said this new age era in the 20, as we move into this new era, it's not going to be about who's talking. It's going to be about really dissecting and choosing where you're going to get your information from, because there's a fad with talking. Everybody doing a lot of talking, and we don't fall victim to just talking. We got action and information attached to ours. Yeah, it's consequences attached to what we say and what we do, and so we move with that in mind and understand that moving forward, people gonna be doing a lot of talking, but you got to know where to go get it from. And not only am I extremely picky and have expectations on the people I get my advice from, I think anyone just taking advice from any old body is setting themselves up for failure. A fool knows what to say and a wise man knows when to say it. So sometimes it's about who you talk to and when they talking to you and where you at in your life as far as the information and if it resonates. Sometimes dudes is talking over your head. Sometimes they dealing with game that I put down 6 months ago that's just affecting their life now, but it's catching up. And that's why they say be patient. This ain't a quick play. This ain't a quick turnaround play. But we denounce criticism that don't involve advancement. Like, if your critiques don't involve advancement, then you're not, again, to speak with love is to speak without judgment. So if you just critiquing to try to be harsh on us, we reject that. We know you trying to down us and hurt us, right? But we come from the dog, so the dog don't scare us, but we try to stay positive and shed light on the positive things and stay away from all of that. But if it don't involve us actually, if the critique, and that's why I think I resonate with the culture, because they know I'm speaking, trying to get information from things. I ain't gossiping. We don't do no gossiping. We trying to say, yo, the thinking, like, just think if you was a rapper and they had you bagged up and then you came out and tweeted this to the label. Yeah, how you think I feel? I feel cheated. Where else I go? All these white folks is, right? So I try to dive into the thinking of some of those things, right? And that's the medicine in the candy approach. Very limited people can do it because it's high level understanding. You can't just be talking. It's crazy because you come up in the game and you think that the black people gonna be the ones that lift you up. And I got good brothers, man, that answer my calls and point me in directions all the time, man. But I'm finding that the white people ain't got no problem with old assist, man. Now Larry Bird to get you the ball is what I'm figuring out in this game. These folk done brought me to somewhere that had 30,000 people in it, and publicists and people that do podcasts, and they got Amazon on the line and this and that and shit happening, and you saying, damn, yo, these people here, man, this ain't just no, this is some content. And that's why I always tell people keep their mind open, man, because I deal with market share. I don't just look at, respectfully, Charlemagne or none of this shit. I look at market share, period. I know that we got to operate outside of that small hip hop. At least I do. I have the ability to. At least I like to believe I do. So with that in mind, delusional or not, one foot in front of the other, let's figure it out. We'll get there and fall on our face and be proud that we got there. But one thing about it, we come equipped with information and we going to keep our head in the game. Half the battle is keeping their head in the game. Them athletes go pro and fall off mentally. Physically, it's the same body that you're dealing with. It's the same that catch coach, you fall off mentally. And that's what you got to make sure you don't do. Loon ain't never falling off mentally. My mind in the game, everything is on the line. As long as you move with that in mind, you can't fall off mentally. What they viewing is the results of my preparation. I can't lose if I prepare enough, period. And when you get money, that's what you get. You get time to prepare. A broke don't got time to prepare. Sometimes such and such in the city need 10 grand right now. And now you can't get the verse because you can't come up with the 10. But had you had time to, such and such would be in the city, he'll do one verse for 10, you might could have got it. It just take you longer, right? Oh, rich don't gotta. All he get to do now is prepare for his next move. What can I do? Do the things I enjoy. Right now, all my rich friends telling me find a hobby. I keep telling them I'm trying to find the information. Man, if I go to the golf course right now, it don't resonate. The shit don't feel right. I go to the gym, it's cool. I can't, my mind saying 10 million. My mind saying what the money at, 10 million. Get it here. And that's just all that I continue to, as I go, man. But I said a couple weeks ago to pay attention to the people ahead of you in regards to the Deion Sanders and Nick Saban situation, man. And that ended up going viral. I was just speaking about how a lot of times the people ahead of you are only depending on the fact that they're ahead of you. So it get uncomfortable as you get closer because they know skill set ain't even the determining factor. All they got on you is that they got that little space on you, that little distance on you. If we break that shit down and look at it for what it's worth, you ever broke watches down? All the sunglasses the same. You just willing to pay $1,000 for that pair and $18 for that pair. All of them the same. So what you got? What I'm saying is sometimes it be about the only difference people got on you is the difference that they got on you. So as you start to close that gap, they start to panic. And remember, to the people who are in power that feel like when you get closer to what they think is power, they start to think that you gaining power means them losing power. And so equal sounds like favorable to a nigga that think he losing power. Or when you're dealing with racist people, you dig what I'm saying? Yeah, equal or same treatment sound like leverage to a think he losing power in the event that you get equal rights or equal looks or equal pay or CPM or whatever it might be in whatever business that you in, right? It's a reason why at the workplace they don't want nobody talking about what they make. Why is this such a cardinal sin? Why I can't say, man, it's $7-8 an hour and they budget for that, just so you know, black man. Like they'll fire you for telling another what you make because they know all you got on them is the hiding of that information. And it's the same thing in the industry. They like to hide the information because it ain't about talent. Like you don't get in the media room just because you killing it, every topic, everything. You touching all the game because if that's the case, I'd have been in the media room. You get in the media room by going through a route that people outside the industry don't know. Right. And so as I'm in the industry, I ask for access to those routes because I understand brand building is a powerful thing. But I need people to know that sometimes equal, sometimes fair seem like leverage. It seem unfair to the people that's in power. They get uncomfortable as you get closer. Hey, yo, somebody help me understand this. Earlier, I spoke about it. Again, the culture, man, is just, you can sit down and just have conversation about subsections of the culture for hours. That's why I don't know how people are struggling for things to speak about. But it may be the way that my mind views the world and my intake of the information, right? Nonetheless, look at how the culture viewed the McDonald situation that I spoke on earlier. The father brings some McDonald over to the house for his kid and not the other kids. I already gave my opinion on that, so I won't reiterate it. But I just took a look at the coach, and I see that Miracle Watts, respectfully to her, Tyler Perry, whatever that situation is, but I see them going at it about her claiming the kids. So in our culture, they get at you for not bringing the kids food on one side, right? You didn't help the kids, or you didn't put them in a position to eat as well as you should have thought about all the children as a whole, right? So they criticize you on that side for that. And then Miracle Watts is over here saying that, yo, I embrace these children, and she get criticized for that. Now, I don't know how to feel about people claiming other people's children. That's not my cup of tea, right? In regards to love is love, but sometimes there's boundaries in place in regards to children that seem to become invisible when the relationship subsides. In my opinion, people become childish, right? Sometimes, and this is no longer about them. We just dealing with the information. This is just giving something to talk about. But people become childish in regards to the children, right? Sometimes that's all they got left in regards to he love his child, so I'm going to step on his toes by doing this with his child or doing this with her child. And see, that's where it get weird, because it gets blurry. But when you a gangster, you just say, yo, chalk it up. That's a L, right? If I'm no longer in a position where I can control that because we didn't work for whatever reason, whatever happened, long as they don't bother them, it's just a L. It's a bad move. And I view it every time I see a different thing. Boy, you made, that was a hell of a decision you made right there. Right. And so I constantly learn by staying away from it, but viewing it and interpreting what I know to be the case. Right. So I'm saying, damn, boy, you ain't see none of that coming. Ooh, they done that too. Ooh, they no longer can hurt you, but you can still identify the attributes. Right. So you try, you do that. But sometimes people are still emotionally involved. Right. So they still snap and do different things if those things occur. And I just hate that the culture can't make his mind up, because there's no rules. There's no handbook on parenting, really. You know, again, I spoke my piece on that whole situation, but it's just like there's no rules as to none of this shit. Even with relationships, there ain't really no rules. It's about what worked for you. But I know that most men want you to be nice, want you to be a certain type woman. You dig what I'm saying? Dudes have expectations, and if we start to say you shouldn't have expectations, I think that, man, what they're saying, just accept anything. And man, and for me, Britney Rener, and I want to speak on this really quick before we move on. I give y'all a good part today, but for me, Britney Rener is caught in this weird place, right, where she gets a lot of traction for going against the grain, or for attacking men, or for just being that other side of the street, or other side of the story, to the point where the audience is controlling her effect on, or her ability to get that kind of traction only probably will come when she speak against the grain, right? And identify it in a way where men are weak and they want to take advantage, because in my opinion, every topic you run and you get it going. Every topic is this weird thing you're doing. Every time men do something that's a relationship, it's a weird thing happening. I want to speak about black media real quick, man, because again, I don't speak enough about us doing or what we're doing, right? I think I'm one of the loudest voices about black media in a way where I'm trying to say, yo, look at the podcasting world, look at this world, look at that world, how we do it, look at how he's speaking. He shouldn't be doing it like that. Or if you really was paying attention to how he did it, man, You know, I'm just trying to get a game what the game ain't never had. You understand? But I want to say this. I took a look at the Rory Mall Speak the Logic. Right? I seen Joe Budden on one of the podcasts play something, and I didn't know it was from Rory Mal, but it was Logic talking, ended up bleeping out some of it. But that was ended up being with Rory and Mal and out of one of their podcasts. I actually listened to it. I'm like, oh, they done caught stride over there on Joe Budden. Respectfully though, they ain't slipping over there. They sounding good. You know, they back par. And you know, at first I was like, oh, they slipping over there. Look like they slipping a little bit, but they done. I looked at that logic, and that was a good interview. You know, and so I want to put that in the atmosphere because I think I always, you know, when they were with Joe and they split, I was critical of them and trying to pay attention to them because I didn't want this to happen. And JBP, you know, there's a lot going on over there that I can speak about or that I want to speak about, right? And just dissect what I see happening. There's a lot happening now over there. But when Rory and Maul and them got away from Joe, I was watching them. Because, again, I just dissect the whole game and I was watching what they were doing. And I thought, like, oh, my God, it seemed like they ain't. But they stepped into their role as partners in this space. Like, they need to be mentioned on the list. And where you put them on the list is up to you, right? But they definitely need to be in the conversation. Now, Academic sat with Candace Owens, and Ak is finding his groove over there and trying to get his thing together. But Candace, he can't handle Candace. He doesn't really know enough about it, and he's not going to really step out and really challenge anything because he doesn't have the information for real. So he's going to constantly play, oh, for real? Oh, that's the number they come up with? Oh, that's the, oh, my God, that's what they're saying. Like, he's going to play that role instead of getting the information out. And I think that does a disservice to his audience, right? You got to dig in, bro. Y'all got to take this shit serious, or I'm finna eat food, like, or not even me. My prototype, guys like me that's coming into the field, they gonna eat your food. You ain't taking this serious, man. You know. But see, in this game, that's why you got to find your own stride, and that's why I'm glad I found my stride. And that's just your approach to part and your approach to how you get your information out, what you want to talk about, right? Being comfortable in front of the camera in a room full of people talking, right? Just certain things you got to be able to do, right? I think Ak is great at what he does in regards to those 6-8 minute clips, those news informational kind of clips about commentary, hip hop commentary. I think he's great at that in podcasting. He just got to find his groove, right? And you can't copy anyone. So you can't copy what Joe does or what Charlamagne does or what Loon does or what Bank does or what Earn Your Lead. You can't copy what nobody do because you can't live at that address. This happens so quick as you talking. Like, you can hear somebody take somebody's talking point unless you put the work in. You can hear somebody take someone's talking point and they land flat. They can't dive deep into it because they didn't come up with it. So you got to be prepared if you sit next to Candace Owens. Like, we reached out to her people. Like, I want to sit next to Candace Owens. I got a lot to. I didn't know she was in Nashville. Like, I have an office in Nashville. We got to talk. Right, so let's talk about this abortion thing, the pregnancy thing you're talking about. Let's talk about welfare. Let's talk about these things, right, from a real perspective. And respectfully to Academics, I watched that whole interview. He did a great job. It just, again, you got to find your groove in this game, and it gets hard. It gets hard because you got to interview today, one Tuesday. You travel to do it. You go, because I remember on my Earn Your Leisure interview, I'm so bummed out about New York. I ain't paying attention. Like, so I drive up to the office where Charlamagne them shoot the Brilliant Idiots. I'm like, there's no parking. So, and I'm there 2 hours before Earn Your Leisure get there because I know my vibe is to sit down, play a little music, and just relax. I can, but if I come and just sit down and talk instantly, it's just I didn't get a chance to gather myself. And so 2 hours looking for parking. I just finally had to be like, yo, can y'all send somebody out? I give us some money to find me parking. Right? Earn Your Leisure had showed up. They upstairs. I'm like, yo, I can't keep these dudes waiting. So I ended up paying the girl to find me parking, go up there. Soon I sat down rolling. I didn't take time. Now they had somebody there to help me, but I didn't take time and put the camera like I wanted, right? Certain things that had I had the time to do it, I would have done it. And so for a creator, it gets rough as you try to get through it. You know, you travel here with it, set up the stuff. Now your guest is here. You know, you really ain't prepared. You really just finna sit down. You doing clickbait game. You doing clickbait journalism. Just such and such was on the pod. The pod ain't talking about a motherfucking thing, but We got one of the biggest names in the game. You know, I ain't playing that game. I'm really trying to add to the culture with this. You know what I'm saying? I don't have nothing else to do. I made enough money in the street to survive. So, you know, I'm having fun with this shit and try to add to the culture. I want to take some time too, speaking of podcasting and black media, and give a shout out to 21 Savage. Savage been jumping on these podcasts instead of going to these big platforms, and I think that that's so important, not only for the content creator, but just for the market and him being able to speak to what he know to be the truth. You know, he's dealing with the specifics. You're dealing with a guy that's been through a lot in this industry and been able to stand next to and stand by everything that he came in the game on. I was listening to Meezy explain some of his attributes, some of his accomplishments. Again, it gets blurry from these up north guys. Their perspective on some of these things in regards to the accolades and the position of things, it's just they have a revisionist history sometimes. And I'm not talking about the fans up north. I'm speaking specifically on media and how it's framed. A lot of times they'll speak like I remember, and I like Joe Budden, but I remember looking at Joe Budden and Lil Baby interview, and I can see the distance between their understanding, the distance between their talking, the distance. It was distance in the building, right? Still turned out to be a good interview because he is him and Baby is him. Baby still was able to get some information out, but sometimes he was talking, it was just a disconnect. Not because we ain't of the same culture, because we definitely are the same culture, but it's subcategories of the culture, right? And when we talk about the South, sometimes when people speak about it, I just don't seem like our flowers is blossomed in a way that I want them to be. Right. And so I think we're instrumental in the South with media. And that's why I want to spend some time on Savage. Savage goes on these media platforms, right, where he can resonate with people from a different way. Sometimes you can only get that kind of interview from that kind of interviewer. You understand me? And when you're able to position yourself and understand that I can go in any room and put this game down, right? I can sit next to Jimmy Fallon and go holler at Loon on this up there podcast, and both of those interviews be effective for what they supposed to be effective for, right? And so I want to give some appreciation to Home for always sticking by the culture, right? I think he was one of the first ones on Gilly them that really put a bunch of game out and allowed them to get a lot of clips to move around, right? He just did Math, which was a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Got a text from Jay about a Math Hoffa interview, right? These things are important, but a lot of these dudes, they ain't gonna do that. They think the numbers ain't big enough or it ain't that guy. And that's when you know if you come from this or you just playing. A lot of these is just playing. You looking for them to be real. You looking for them to be gangster. That's why I say, man, you be careful wanting to meet these be poo nanny, man. You be careful of wanting, man, I can't wait to meet bruh, man. Bruh real, man. I can't wait to meet bruh. You gonna meet bruh and you gonna go home disappointed. Which in my eyes see it differently. Like I can't see a man working hard as I'm working. I'm in position and I won't help the dude. I just, that night, I ain't talking about somebody that's half pod and he half is putting it together. He half getting it going. This dude here consistently putting it down. For me, bro, it again, it gets disappointing as you get closer to it. Because if you're looking for these industry niggas to be real, I just told y'all, it's like looking for a black cat in a dark room. Gonna be hard to see. And he might be in here. But you just never know because, again, all this game is about selling your relationships. A lot of these relationships are for sale. I just was speaking to y'all about you can buy your way close to one of these rappers, right? A lot of time, bro, if I had a like Dick Gregory was alive, man, I'll pay him to stay next to me, man. Some of these tight minds, I'll pay them dudes to stay next to me, man. What is this? This look at life. Pay him, man. Get him around me, man. That dude can evolve me in a way that's very specific. You understand? Just the outlook, right? Because it's all about problem solving. But in our culture, we look down on uplifting. But we talk black excellence. That's why I get confusing. But I had to tell my kids, keep your eyes open and don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid, don't be scared of love because I'm identifying that it ain't as easy as they say it'll be, but it is people out there that's doing that. It is people out there that's furthering each other and helping each other without mentioning. A good deed is worthless and useless after it's mentioned. How many of y'all have done something behind the scenes and springboarded someone and putting people in position? Every time I'm on the phone with somebody about podcasting, I tell you no lie, Rashad may be the only guy in the game. You know, B. Marshall had me on the call, Rashad. You know, certain people in the game that I've been able to get information and they've hooked me with people that's done things for me. Bank was the first person to reach out to me. But if we talk about the real culture and the real game, every time I speak to someone that's getting me a check cut for my words, they say that it's white people that's helping them. Every single time they say it's white people that's helping them. And I got to look at that a certain way because I'm like, bro, we in this together. And it be the white folks that's helping us get money or get in position a lot of time. But that still don't mean you need to be afraid to with your homies or ask the nigga, try to, you see what I'm saying? Because the culture is the culture, but you got to be upright, independent, and be ready to hustle. And don't be afraid of learning. Hey, but that's been another episode of the fastest growing podcast in the world. You know, it's Up There Podcast. I love everybody that with me, man. Meet me on Patreon right now. We're gonna start putting 50 minutes of it out and the rest on Patreon. So appreciate everybody. Love Up There Podcast. Stay up, stay motivated, stay lifted, get some money. Do not never go in the trick bag. Biggest.